Opening day in Baltimore became one long walk down memory lane. It began with Johnny Unitas and other successors to Baltimore's legacy, celebrating a tradition that graced Memorial Stadium for generations.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Baltimore.
And this afternoon, the Baltimore Ravens, coached by Ted Marchibroda, former head coach of the Baltimore Colts, open up a new chapter of Baltimore football history against the Oakland Raiders.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
He's in for the touchdown.
In 1983, the Colts traded tradition for technology and moved to the RCA Dome. Last season, Jim Harbaugh and company began building a winning tradition of their own. This season, they're off to their best start in 20 years. Now, for the first time, the marquee reads Baltimore versus the Colts as the Ravens meet Indianapolis tonight.
We come to you from the RCA Dome in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. And a matchup filled with intrigue, the first meeting ever between the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. Good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to the heart of Indiana. If Charles Dickens were alive and he wanted to document this one, I think he'd enjoy it, but he might have to rewrite the novel and call it a tale of three cities. Tonight we come to you from Indianapolis, and we present a game featuring the Colts, a team that moved from Baltimore to this city more than a decade ago, against a team from Baltimore, a team that was in Cleveland just over a year ago. I really think this matters not a bit to the players who are involved in the game, and I really think it matters more to the people of Baltimore and Cleveland than it does those in Indianapolis who claimed the Colts for 13 years. But there is a sub-twist to all of this, and that is the return of Ted Marchibroda. He comes back to Indiana tonight as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Not so incidentally a team he coached in the 70s when they were the Baltimore Colts. But he comes back to a city where he coached for the last 4 years, and a team he coached into the playoffs last year, a team that came within one play of going into the Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys. There is more baggage involved in this one than a Louis Vuitton outlet store. I'm joined, as always, by Pat Hayden. Pat, not only do we have the intrigue and the subplots, but a couple of really good quarterbacks.
Well, you know, starting with Jim Harbaugh, really one of those great American success stories, because his career was really in the dumps just a few years ago, but resurrected last year with great play and an incredible run through the playoffs. Well, his good play and good fortune continue this year. A comeback win over the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, a Monday night win against the Dolphins. And Vern, I think what he does so well is know his own limitations, knows it's primarily a defensive team, and they don't turn the ball over much. He has only thrown 2 interceptions this year, and I think therein lies the success of their 4-1 start.
Well, they come in 4-1, and the Ravens come in with the 2-3 mark. They were involved in the highest scoring game of the season last week. It was a loss to New England, but Vinny Testaverde played very, very well.
Well, you know, Vinny Testaverde had so much promise when he came out as the #1 draft pick in 1987, and maybe he hasn't lived up to all that promise, but he's played his most consistent football the last 2 years, and in particular, the last 2 weeks. You mentioned last week. Well, last week, 353 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception, and that's what the Ravens really need out of him, is consistency throughout this whole ball game. And you can't run the ball very well against the Colts. You must beat them, I think, throwing the football, and Testaverde's going to have to play very well.
And he's going to have to get a pretty good game, and he has gotten a few thus far out of his rookie left guard, Jonathan Ogden.
You know, it's a great matchup. Ogden against Tony Siragusa, the defensive tackle number 98 for the Colts. Siragusa is a guy where their defensive run-stopping starts. You see his size, 320 pounds. Ogden is 6'8". That is a matchup that will go a long way in deciding this ball game, and a matchup we're going to keep a close eye on.
Lindy Infante, in his first year as head coach here, came in last year as the offensive coordinator, the erstwhile head coach of the Green Bay Packers. He took 3 seasons off. Bill Tobin hired him as the offensive coordinator a year ago. He succeeds, of course, Ted Marchibroda, who had a contract problem with Bill Tobin and the Colts. They offered a 1-year extension of the contract. He wanted 3, and he was released from his obligation as the head coach, and Infante was hired in his place. Aaron Bailey is the deep man, number 80, as Indianapolis won the toss, and Matt Stover will kick off. You can see 2 touchbacks in his 23 kickoffs thus far this season. Colts and Ravens. Bailey at the 2. Takes a jolt as he gets to the 21-yard line. Tackle is made by number 43, Vashon Adams. And Jim Harbaugh, for the season, 6 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He follows up a year in which he threw for 17 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions, and was the highest-rated quarterback in the league a year ago.
And Bert, I think he's an anomaly in that he is an efficient quarterback, yet exciting. And, you know, you don't find that combination too often.
First down and 10. They rule the ball down at the 22-yard line. Cliff Gross opens as a fullback, number 33. Marvin Harrison in motion. Play action on first down. Harbaugh in trouble. Dodges out of the tackle. Comes right and will be given credit for a quarterback run and a gain of a yard. And Harbaugh gets up limping on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, you know, he has avoided a lot of injuries, even though he moves around and scrambles a lot. And he is one tough guy. Sacked 6 times last week by Buffalo. We'll take a look at the end of this play. Dan Footman gets a shot of his ankle. And that's exactly what he did hurt with the left ankle, I believe.
Gain of 1, backs in an offset eye. Marshall Falk goes left, tries to get a block from Gross. And Donnie Brady, number 24, the rookie cornerback, is up. And Harbaugh is all by himself at the 13 and looks down and feels his right foot. Indianapolis backs and receivers. Ken Dilger has become a terrific force at tight end. Marvin Harrison, of course, the rookie first-round draft pick. Falk and Crockett in the backfield, though Gross started the first 2 plays. Up front, this is a recycled offensive line. 4 of the 5 have played for other teams. All came in as unrestricted free agents. Jason Matthews is the one who was drafted here. That's a sign of the times, though. 3rd down and 10. Out of the shotgun. 4-man rush. Harbaugh pulls up, lets it go, has a man open. It's Bailey. And Bailey's flying down the sideline. 1 man to beat. A nice open field tackle by Antonio Langham at the 38-yard line.
And Vern, this is where Jim Harbaugh really turned around his game a year ago. He's always been a good scrambler, but what Lindy Infante has him doing now is when he begins to scramble, he looks downfield, and rather than running it, he's looking for the throw. This one ends up being a 40-yard gain outside to Aaron Bailey. And what a big difference looking downfield, because that's where the big plays come off the scramble, not off of the quarterback runs, but off the quarterback throws.
That is the 5th catch of the season for Aaron Bailey, number 80. Remembered with great fondness in Pittsburgh as the guy who was the recipient of the final throw from Jim Harbaugh and almost made the catch that would have sent the Colts into the Super Bowl. First down and 10. Goes left.
Face mask. Boy, there has to be a face
flag
mask.
Is down. Gerald Williams, number 57. And Ray Lewis, number 52. Let's check the flag. Referee tonight is Johnny Greer.
Easy call here on Marshall Falk. Gerald
Face
Williams.
mask, 57, defense, still first down.
That's Gerald Williams. And it results in a first down at the 32-yard line. First down and 4. Draw play to Cliff Gross, number 33. Breaks the tackle. He's a load, and he's inside the 25 to the 23. Ray Lewis with the tackle. Gross playing in place of Zach Crockett. And defensively, let's check the Baltimore Ravens lineup. They've had problems with the pass rush. They've had only 6 sacks this season. James Jones moves into the starting lineup to try and help remedy that. Ray Lewis is a rookie in the middle, one of 2 #1 draft choices. And Antonio Langham at left cornerback has given up a touchdown in each of the first 5 games this year. Vince Workman gets the handoff. He's playing in place of Lamont Warren tonight. Warren, out with a bruised knee, is on the inactive list, and Zach Crockett, who is the starting fullback, is not seeing action now. We're told that he injured a knee in the warm-ups.
And so they now have 3 healthy backs because Lamont Warren is not available tonight because of an injury. So you have Falk, you have Workman, and you have Gross. Just 3 guys.
And this is a team that, among other things, beat Dallas in Dallas with 6 starters out of that lineup. They've had injuries. 9 different starters have missed games this year. 2nd and 10. Draw play. Workman trips, stumbles, and does a mamas and the papas at the 20-yard line. Only those of a certain vintage will catch that.
I got it. I kind of like that.
Okay.
You wouldn't do too well in most clubs these days, though, Vern.
No, I wouldn't.
There's Lindy Infante, I think a guy that really helped resurrect Jim Harbaugh's career. I mean, always has worked very well with quarterbacks. Did it at Green Bay, did it at Cleveland as an assistant, and did it last year with Jim Harbaugh.
With the Colts, best start since 1977. And time has been called. Time with Indianapolis facing a 3rd and 7. We'll be right back.
The NFL on TNT is brought to you by the new Coors Light Wide Mouth Can. Tap the Rockies with a smoother pour. By Fruit of the Loom, makers of really, really comfortable clothes. By Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Stop in for riblets and finger combos for a limited time. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. Stop in today for an exclusive Jiffy Lube signature service with quality Pennzoil motor oil. And by Mercedes-Benz.
Coors Light, the silver bullet. It's shipped cold to tap the clean taste of the Rockies.
Good boy.
The new Coors Light Wide Mouth Can is here with a giant opening for a smoother pour.
Jim Harbaugh hit the big 40-yard pass to Aaron Bailey. That is the longest pass yielded by the Baltimore defense this season. And they now look at a 3rd and 7. That last time out charge to Baltimore.
Hey, Vern, this is an area of the field where Jim Harbaugh and Lindy Infante, who calls all the plays, look at more and more for Ken Dilger, their tight end, who's become more and more of a weapon in here. But now they're playing with 4 wideouts.
4 wideouts, and Dilger will rest on this play. Out of the shotgun. Blitz. Slant pattern. First down at the 12.
Boy, was that a good throw. An absolutely perfectly thrown ball from Jim Harbaugh to Sean Dawkins. Another one of those tall, big receivers. Dawkins at 6'4", over 200 pounds. An inside throw right away from the defender. I mean, beautifully read. Screens the defender out. That's the second big play on big pass play on 3rd downs that Harbaugh's had in his drive.
Inside the red zone, Indianapolis 6 of 10. Now that 10 is an interesting number. That's the fewest numbers of trips inside the 20-yard line by any team in the NFL. But they have gotten 6 touchdowns. Harbaugh in the flat for Gross. And Gross is knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Wow, the guy on the sideline got hurt too. The cameraman just got greased. Absolutely greased. And there he is. He lost the headset, he lost the camera, and he may lose his lunch a little later. But this is what, when you get a big old back like Gross, who's 245 pounds, out like this, and you get it where he catches the ball on the move with some momentum. I mean, you got a lot of things happening in your favor.
And timeout now is called by Jim Harbaugh. He either didn't like the offensive unit with which he was going to run this play, or he didn't like what he saw from Baltimore's defense. At any reason, time has been called. 9:22 to go. First quarter of play.
Movies for guys who like movies. Thursday, Harrison Ford, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You want them? We got them. Movies for guys who like movies. 8:05 Eastern, Thursday night, only on TBS.
You're a beauty with eyes that sparkle and glow, and lips so soft that I know that I just have to show how I adore you, looking like you do tonight.
For the way you want to look tonight. Moyer & Company.
Primetime Country on TNN is big. It's unbalanced. It's wild. Primetime Country has country's top stars and new stars on their way to the top. Join host Gary Chapman and his guests, Flint Black, singing the newest single from his greatest hits album. Also, from the TV studio on Wings to the recording studio, it's Crystal Bernard. Primetime Country, Monday, October 7th at 9 Eastern on TNN, the Nashville Network.
This drive began at the 22-yard line, and Jim Harbaugh, Pat.
Yeah, this was the very first offensive play of the game for the Colts. Harbaugh gets hit on the left knee there, but it's Dan Footman, number 78, who comes in late here, right there, where he actually hurt his ankle. And Dan Footman fractured his right arm on that play and is out of the ballgame.
Second down from the 6. Harbaugh, draw play, Gross. Dropped at the line. James Jones and Tim Goad, 73. Goad had started earlier this season until tonight. He gave way to James Jones, but now pressed back into duty because of the fractured right arm sustained by Dan Footman.
Well, you mentioned this Raven defense has had its troubles. Only 6 sacks on the year, the worst in the National Football League. And Dan Footman was one of the guys who was playing pretty well on the defense. Now he's out of the game. And the Ravens, Eric Turner's out of the game, so this defense is really hurting. Look what he has done inside the 20. 72% completion percentage. It's been incredible.
3rd and 1. Harbaugh caught and dropped. And it's Tim Goad, number 73. This is a team that had only 6 sacks coming in. And they get a big one here in the first drive of the game.
Last in the NFL. It started, it looked like he had somebody open on the right side. Talking about Harbaugh, and they just held the ball too long, and Gold was able to fight off his block and make an easy sack. That's the kind of lift you need. You come in, your starting guy, Dan Footman, breaks his arm. Tim Goad comes in and gets us the 7th sack of the year.
And here is Kerry Blanchard's attempt at the first score of the night, and the field goal is good from 27 yards out. So a long drive. They wanted 7. They settled for 3. The Indianapolis Colts lead the Baltimore Ravens.
Che bella cosa la dolce vita, volare la noche caliente en su esplendor suave.
God bless America. 100% cotton, cut for comfort. Fruit of the loom. Really, really comfortable underwear.
We cheer for the Friday Night Heroes, the Weekend Warriors, and the small college stars who on their best days make heroes of us all. TNT and NFL Films bring you unforgettable stories of courage and triumph. in a remarkable film that takes you to the heart of the game. Football America. World premiere Friday night at 8 on TNT.
Inside the RCA Dome that seats just over 60,000 and sold out tonight because Turner Broadcasting bought the final 3,000 tickets to ensure the blackout being lifted.
Is that pre-merger?
I'm not sure. No, I would think it was post-merger because it went sailed through. Wasn't held up by the lawyers. It was a quick decision. Let's do it. So the game is being televised locally. Here's the kickoff, and this is Jermaine Lewis, a rookie at 5'7" and 170. But he can fly. He doesn't fly very far. As a Raven, he gets out near the 20-yard line. And Vinny Testaverde. Ted Marchibroda said the last 2 weeks he's played as well as any quarterback in the league, Pat.
Yeah, look what his stats from last week. Although in a losing effort, his team scored 24 points in the fourth quarter. And you know, we talked to him last night. He seems very relaxed, sure of himself. And he said, hey, if we're going to win this thing, our offensive line is going to have to win the ball game for us.
From the 20, first and 10. Throws on first down, and it's incomplete, almost picked off. Michael Jackson, number 81, took a pop from Jason Belser, number 29. Ernest Biner, he in his 14th year, 149 yards a couple of weeks ago. Jackson, you saw just lose the last one. Ogden has been playing superbly. Steve Everett also playing quite well at center. Second down and 10. Here's Ernest Biner testing things at right guard, and he picks up 3 yards. And defensively for the Indianapolis Colts, they got a lot of Tonys and no Emmys in that front line. It's Tony McCoy, Tony Siragusa, and Tony Bennett.
How late did you stay up last night on that one?
Not late enough, obviously. In the middle, Jeff Herrod anchors that bunch. And Gene Daniel, drafted just after the decision was made for the Baltimore Colts to move to Indianapolis. Tony Bennett. 3rd and 6. Good protection. A diving try, pretty good coverage defensively. Michael Jackson couldn't get it. And Ray Buchanan was right with him.
Yeah, and Vern, that is another one of those matchups, the game within the game. Number 34, Ray Buchanan against Michael Jackson. You know, Ray Buchanan is going to have Michael Jackson all over the field tonight, one-on-one. He's going to follow their best receiver, and that is Michael Jackson. And twice now, he's done a very good job on Michael Jackson, and this time forces the punt.
Here's Montgomery's first punt. And it's taken by Marvin Harrison, number 88. Harrison brings it back to the 36-yard line. 3-0. Indianapolis leads it over the Baltimore Ravens.
Ever since time began, the world has gone 2 by 2. The perfect combo. Applebee's tender, juicy riblets and crispy golden chicken fingers in 3 flavors. Classic original, ranch, and fire fingers. Together right now on platters and baskets, any way you want them. Applebee's riblets and chicken fingers. Some things were just meant to be together.
America's favorite flavor, Applebee's.
How to achieve success.
For me, it's the details. In golf, that means taking it one stroke at a time. And at Jiffy Lube, we do it one car at a time. And we offer the quality of Pennzoil. So even though we've serviced almost 100 million cars, the one that matters most is the one we're working on now.
If it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
he has the typical Western Pennsylvania arm. He's already thrown for more high school yards than Joe Namath, Dan Marino, and Joe Montana combined.
This Friday marks the world premiere of a TNT original produced by the creative team at NFL Films. Football America takes a look at 9 real-life stories of those who play, those who coach, and people who just love the game of football. Football America, Friday, 8 Eastern, only on TNT. How'd they sneak in here?
Yeah, old number 35 didn't look too interested there, did he?
We got Browns fans and Ravens fans and Colt fans and Cowboy fans. First and 10. And the handoff right side to the 35-yard line. Well, Baltimore is struggling defensively. They gave up a ton last week in that loss to New England. And,
look at that. Points allowed, 27th in the league. That's the most important statistic, of course. Pass percentage, they rank dead last. Sacks, 30th. They only have 7 on the year. They picked up 1 tonight. Third down conversions, dead last. And then their best defensive player, Eric Turner, is not available tonight. Bad ankle, so he's out.
Eric Turner on the inactive list, and his place taken by Deshaun Adams. Second down and 11. 6:12 to go, opening quarter. 3 lineouts. Play action. Harbaugh under pressure from Rob Burnett. Now here comes Tim Goad, and Ken Gilder, the safety valve, gets it, but gets only a yard. And then bodies flying all over the place as he's knocked out of bounds. Stevan Moore came flying in there, and had contact been made, we might have seen a flag.
Jim Harbaugh is still limping around, but in spite of that, he's able to get away from number 90, Rob Burnett, who just kind of powers through his guy, Jason Matthews, I believe that was. And the one thing about Jim Harbaugh, he is very accurate on the move. I mean, he may be more accurate when he's running around than he is in the pocket.
You know, he's still a little gimpy from that that ankle.
He's one tough guy, though. Boy.
3rd and 9. Fires it. First down at the 49.
When I say that Jim Harbaugh is a tough guy, he is limping around in between plays, but once the ball is snapped, he's not thinking about that right foot. I mean, again, once again on the scramble, looking downfield rather than worrying about the run. Number 80 is Bailey, and that's where the big plays come for these Colts. When he's out of the pocket, moving around, and his wide receivers are working back to him. A 13-yard gain and another first down.
Second catch. Harbaugh 5 of 5 in the early going tonight. First and 10, 3-0 lead. Play action again. Harbaugh sacked for the second time tonight. Well, he was sacked 6 times last week. This one, Ray Lewis, the second of 2 #1 draft picks out of Miami.
Well, Ray Lewis, number 52, already has 7 tackles on the evening and then 1 sack. This time just kind of runs around the block of Marshall Faulk. Earlier, Marshall Faulk had picked him up and rather solidly, but that time Marshall Faulk ducks his head. Ray Lewis runs around it. He gets himself a sack. And then a shake, I think.
Or a vault.
Yeah.
Second down and 17. Draw play, Faulk. Marshall Faulk missed 2 games already this season because of a dislocated toe. He came back and had his most productive outing of the season last week in that overtime loss to Buffalo. Rob Burnett makes the tackle here, and Burnett is hurt.
Oh,
my
boy.
Goodness, right knee.
This is the guy, Rob Burnett. I believe, there are overrated players in the league. Rob Burnett is an underrated player. This guy is one solid player for Baltimore. Has been for his entire 7-year career. Oh man, they're gonna run out of defensive linemen here shortly.
Well, they've lost Footman with a fractured right arm, and now Burnett stretched out at the Indianapolis 47-yard line. And let's take a look at the Nick Control scoreboard. That Miami Buffalo, what a finish that game had.
Man. Boy, did Miami play great defense today. Oof.
And Pittsburgh rolls. 10 sacks they got on Jeff Blake today. And Washington goes to 5-1. Congratulations to Norv Turner. Oakland wins at home. And Atlanta remains on the winless.
Eddie George over 100 yards again, Vern. Another big day for him. Michael Irvin comes back and the Cowboys win.
Rob Burnett telling us last night he was embarrassed and humiliated by the way his team played last week. And he was talking about his defensive team in that loss at New England. Very proud man and quite a player.
He really is. I mean, this is a guy that there's a number of these guys around the league that don't get the credit. You know, go about their job, play hard, play after play. You know, don't do the dances and all that kind of junk. And Rob Burnett's one of those guys. He's workmanlike. Has 3 of his teams now 7 sacks.
Well, let's hope he can walk it off. He'll attempt to do that on the sideline. And now another third down. The Ravens are giving up 50% third down plays this season. Dead last in the league. They have been porous. 4-man rush. Pretty good pressure. And they got Harbaugh for the 3rd time in the first quarter. They have now gotten half the total number of sacks they had coming into the game. This is Mike Frederick.
Yeah, and you know what happens is he tries to run up. Jim Harbaugh has a unique style all his own. Actually, well, he and John Elway do this a lot. They try to run right up, straight up through the rush. And if he gets there, he can get a big play, but it's Mike Frederick with some help from James Jones that gets the sack. But most quarterbacks scramble outside. Harbaugh runs right up the middle.
Chris Gardocki is on to punt it away. Ken Dilger is the snapper. The tight end came on in relief after Bradford Banna broke 2 bones in his arm last week. What a punt by Gardocki. And Jermaine Lewis is able to grab it.
He shouldn't catch
inside the 5.
Yeah, he shouldn't catch that on the 4-yard line.
All right, Slutzker downfield to make the tackle. What a nice high punt.
But one that should not have been fielded by Jermaine Lewis, rookie out of Maryland, whom they think is going to be a good returner. But
saw that last number in the line under Gardocki, a 42-yard net punting average. That leads the league. That is outstanding. Now Testaverde. Michael Jackson comes near side. Derek Alexander. Here's wide right. Ernest Biner for a yard at right guard. Wally Williams and Orlando Brown.
If you're going to run against the Colts, you better block that guy. Big old number 98, Tony Siragusa. He is the key to their run defense. And number 75, that's one of the things we're going to watch. This time Ogden leads the way on the linebacker Harrod, but this is an especially tough defense to run the ball against, and you're going to have to beat them, I think, with your wide receivers and your quarterback.
2nd and 9. Blitz. Harrod comes. They've got Testaverde with the second effort. It was Harrod first, Siragusa second.
Boy, these guys are stout on defense. Siragusa the last 2 years has really elevated his play as a defensive tackle. It starts with Siragusa. Harrod on the blitz. Number 54 refuses to be blocked. Good coverage downfield. And the Colts are playing as good team defense as anybody in the National Football League, Vern.
3rd and 22. From the 3.5. Draw play. Ernest Biner trying to give him a little room for the punting effort of Greg Montgomery, and Jason Belser, number 29, wraps Ernest Biner up. Bam Morris, by the way, is active, having served that 6-game suspension, and we do expect to see Bam Morris in action tonight.
Yeah, they're going to get very good field position, and Marvin Harrison, although only a rookie, good return man.
Greg Montgomery sends it deep. Marvin Harrison at the 38 with room to return it. And he gets it back to the 45-yard line before Benny Thompson, long-time special team star, makes the tackle. Well, join us Thursday for a special edition of the NFL on TNT. Steve Bono, Marcus Allen, and the 4-2 Kansas City Chiefs will play host to the Seattle Seahawks, who won on the road in their most recent outing. An AFC West matchup at Arrowhead Stadium, Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, the NFL on TNT.
Little quiz for you.
Yes?
I was going to say there's some facts for you, but I was going to say who leads the NFL in sacks? And I gave it away there because it's right there on the graphic. Yeah, Michael Sinclair.
Michael Sinclair.
And how many sacks might he have?
He had 4 against John Elway.
Yeah, that's right. 8 in total.
Ooh. Harbaugh. Deep left side under pressure. Got a man. Marvin Harrison. Number 88 with the grab and out of bounds.
And Harbaugh gets knocked down again, but Cliff Gross just kind of picks him up off the floor. And talking about getting picked up off the floor, Jim Harbaugh was knocked down 25 times last week. And boy, he is one tough player. And again, the rookie Marvin Harrison, who leads their team in receptions. This guy has had a very nice start to his career and is capable of stretching this field for the Colts.
First down and 10 after that gain. Draw play, Falk goes left. Ray Lewis again on the tackle. Stevan Moore, 27, was also there.
You know, the interesting thing about Marshall Faulk, he is not overused by Lindy Infante. You know, only 14 carries a game is he averaging now. And they use all their weapons. And they have an awful lot of weapons when you think of Marshall Faulk, Jim Harbaugh, Marvin Harrison, and the other wide receiver, Sean Dawkins. They spread it around.
Celebrating 50 years of the NBA. The season begins November 1st on TNT and TBS.
The choices we make in life add up to define who we are, how we live, how our children will live, and what our lives will mean to others. So while the kind of suit you buy won't change the world, it is one of those choices. Hart Schaffner and Marks, for the quality of your life. Available at a fine store near you.
Capital of the state of Indiana, as Indianapolis plays host tonight between the Baltimore Colts. I knew I would say it at least once tonight.
There you go.
Their first
you were
one.
first, thank goodness.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
All sales are final.
The Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. Yep. At least one. Here's Cliff Gross. And that was Gerald Williams, number 57, who made the tackle. You really do get a sense, Pat, in talking to the players from both the Ravens and the Colts, that the matter of the franchise shifts doesn't mean a thing to them.
No, for them it's 1 of 16. It's a long, grinding season, I think, but for the people of Baltimore, and certainly the people of Cleveland in particular, this game means a lot.
None of the players on the Colts roster ever played in Baltimore. Gene Daniel was drafted, as we said, shortly after the announcement of the move. There are 34 former Cleveland Browns in uniform tonight for the Baltimore Ravens. Here's Harbaugh back. Pressure again, and this is going to be holding. As Rob Burnett is back in the field and claims he was taken down.
Yeah, a lot of scrambling quarterbacks get sacked a lot. You know, John Elway got sacked a lot. Randall Cunningham, when he was playing, got sacked a lot. Jim Harbaugh gets sacked a lot. And I think that's the 4th sack tonight against Jim Harbaugh by a team that was last in the National Football League and putting pressure on the quarterback.
Here's Johnny Greer.
Holding, 33, offense, still 3rd down.
That'll knock them back away from field goal range. In the first quarter, Baltimore Zipola.
Nada, 0.
Speaking of cats who live in Colorado.
There you go.
Our family cat.
Well, you mentioned 3rd down defense. The Ravens have had a problem, and Jim Harbaugh has been pretty good with his 3rd down offense tonight.
3rd and 14. And Baltimore uses the second of its 3 timeouts. So they may rue that maneuver, but it was a have to. Time has been called.
The NFL on TNT is brought to you by Sierra, putting you comfortably in command, and by Steel Outdoor Power Tools, makers of the world's #1 selling brand of chainsaw.
Perhaps even more impressive than pure, unbridled power is the ability to harness it. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
Steel, maker of the #1 selling brand of chainsaw worldwide. Also makes a full line of blowers. Just what you need when it seems like fall will never end. Introducing the new, more powerful BG75 gas blower, available only at Steel dealers.
Folks, please remain calm. It has been confirmed. Everyone can now buy a DSS system for as low as $399. And with a year's prepaid subscription to DirecTV, also get $200 cash back. DirecTV apologizes for any mass hysteria this may cause and stresses again, it's got to be DirecTV, satellite TV at its best. Repeat, DSS, $399, $200 cash back. If we all act civilized, we can get through this thing. Questions?
Jim Harbaugh is perfect through the air tonight, a perfect 6 of 6, but he has the awareness he's been in a football game.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting with the very first offensive play where he injured his foot. And then 3 sacks they have on that one by Ray Lewis. This one he tried to step up in the pocket. Sacked by James Jones and Frederick. It's been a mixed evening for him.
3rd and 5 already on 3rd down conversions. A 3-man rush. Harbaugh looks deep, right side, pulls a man wide open. Brian Stabline, number 86.
Wide open is a very safe description of that receiver. I mean, if that isn't a mix-up in coverage, that is incredibly poor coverage. Because there wasn't anyone anywhere near him.
My goodness. His first career touchdown, Brian Stabline. 3rd-year man who played at Ohio State. And here's Kerry Blanchard with the extra point.
I'll tell you, that's a very good design of a pass play. He's the man in the slot. Up at the top. He's just going to run the old whirl pattern. The outside receiver takes the safety. No one is anywhere near him up here. He's open by a good 15 yards. Easy touchdown for the Colts.
His father never returned from battle in the Vietnam War. Now Derek Thomas dedicates every game to his father before fighting his battle on the gridiron. Seahawks Chiefs, Thursday night at 7. The NFL's on TNT.
The choices we make in life add up to define who we are, how we live, how our children will live, and what our lives will mean to others. So while the kind of suit you buy won't change the world, it is one of those choices. Hart, Schaffner, and Marks for the quality of your life. Available at a fine store near you.
Long coverage by the Ravens again leaves Brian Stabline wide open. And he makes his first touchdown grab on the 30-yard pass on 3rd and 14. Here's the kick, and Jermaine Lewis will field this at the 1. Stumbles and is down at the 24-yard line, and we go back and take a look at that blown coverage.
Vern, the Ravens continue to make position. This is Antonio Langham right here, who's supposed to have the deep outside because this defensive back, Isaac Booth, has the flat. But Antonio Langham jumps inside when he's supposed to say deep outside. Stablen runs right by right here, and he's going to come right up the sideline for an easy score. Now, mind you, that's the 6th game in a row where Langham has been beaten for a touchdown. 6 straight games.
And Langham, a former #1 draft pick, was the 9th player chosen in the '94 draft and had played well the last year and a half.
He's in a slump. Antonio Langham is definitely in a slump.
Calvin Williams makes that grab. Young man who was a 3rd-year starter at the University of Alabama for Gene Stallings. 19 career interceptions there. 6 straight games now that he's yielded a touchdown to the opposition.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator, was talking to us this week about his whole defense and said, hey, none of our defensive players are really making the plays when it counts. There's Marvin.
10-zip, second down. Biner spins and is spilled as he crosses the 30, gets to the 32-yard line.
You know, this may be Ernest Biner's 13th year, but he still runs with incredible determination and is putting up very good numbers, averaging 4.4 yards a carry. He's carrying the mail a lot, 45 carries in their last 2 ball games. I mean, he's had long runs this year. One determined guy.
Said a part of it was due to a kind of quiet time that he described it in his career when he didn't play a lot. In Cleveland, then in Washington, of course. Now back Baltimore, 3rd and 1. They hand it off, and here's the first down for Baltimore tonight. They get out to the 36-yard line. David Tate, number 49, makes the tackle on Biner. And Rob Burnett is going to be taken into the locker room. They lost Dan Footman on the opening play from offense with a fractured right arm, and now Burnett will go in for x-rays.
Remember, they just got back Anthony Pleasant, their starting defensive end for tonight's ball game. So they had really been racked up in the defensive line position.
1st and 10. Testaverde back. Screen pass. Biner. Good block from Ogden. Oh my goodness. Mount Rushmore moved left.
Yeah, Jonathan Ogden wasn't born. He was founded. I mean, 6'8", 330 pounds, big old number 75, right in the middle of your screen. You know, you're the linebacker. You have to make the tackle, and that's what you have to run through. Just kind of screens his man out, Sammy Burroughs. This guy has a chance to be an awesome offensive lineman. 4th pick in the draft. He's from Washington, D.C., though he played collegiately at UCLA for Terry Donahue. Flags down, dead ball. Penalty. Tony McCoy and Ernest Biner. You know, Vern, I thought it was
77 offense prior to the snap.
It's Orlando Brown. Thought it was interesting trying to get some perspective from these players this week about the significance of this game, and it really didn't mean anything to them. And Jonathan Ogden and some of the other guys never really followed the Baltimore Colts. He was a Redskin fan, and now there's a guy that understands the significance of this game. Head coach of the Colts on 2 different times, was actually fired 3 times by the Ursays, but rehired once. Yeah, fired in preseason. Yeah. And Burt Jones led a revolt of the players, said we're not going to play the first game unless you rehire him. So the Ursay is dead. Here's Biner. Robert Ursay, who moved the franchise from Baltimore to this city, is in grave condition, ill with a stroke suffered last spring. His son Jim is the general manager and runs the franchise. And I saw Ernest Biner come off the field, and I think when he doesn't signal to come off the field unless something's wrong with him. He injured his shoulder a week ago, and Carwell Gardner in his place. 2nd down, 5. Testaverde has a man open across the middle. It's Alexander. Derek Alexander, the 1st-round pick of '94. And that's another conversion to the 1st down. 21-yard gain. This Raven team is going to get back on track this year. I think Derek Alexander is going to have to really be a key player. The real go-to guy is Michael Jackson, but every good offensive team has a good second receiver. Alexander had a big rookie year, a poor year last year when he caught 15, but he's back on track this season.
First down and 10 after the 21-yard gain. 10-0 game, blitz coming. Carwell Gardner tripped up by his own man, Jonathan Ogden.
Yeah, and that's because Saragusa, that matchup we talked, Saragusa just blew Jonathan Ogden right back into the ball carrier. I mean, number 75 over here is Ogden. Head up with Saragusa. That is one bull. He just kind of pushes all 320 pounds of Ogden into the backfield. And that's a heck of a push by Saragusa to cause the tackle.
Jonathan Ogden said last night, I know this. I'm going to have to get low. And he didn't quite.
No.
Second and 10. 10-0 game. Colts lead. Biner back in. And he gets a quick 3 at left guard and left tackle over Jonathan Ogden. And Tony McCoy, number 61, makes this stop.
You know, Vern, you mentioned all the injuries the Colts have had this year, and you know how they've had to face Dallas without 6 starters. And what they have found is a lot of very capable backups. Tony McCoy with a little injury there, but they have found some real depth on this Colt defense, particularly in the linebacker positions, where they've had Sammy Burroughs and Steve Morrison, Elijah Alexander, all contribute to their defensive efforts.
Time has been called because of the injury. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the neighborhood where smiles are real and times are good, where folks all treat you like they should. One big American family. We're just the place you're looking for, the place for you and me. Everything a neighbor ought to be. We're America's favorite neighbor, Applebee's.
Ah, the sparkling rays of morning light. The crystal clear water. The blowing of a gentle breeze. Okay, so a business trip is no vacation, but you'll find everything you need to relax for the workday ahead at Courtyard. And call us to apply for the AT&T True Choice calling card and get an AT&T Design Line phone free. Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers.
A lot of people don't realize that death is not a handicap. It don't stop you from doing anything. I have no fear. I'm a football player.
Friday marks the world premiere of a TNT original produced by the creative folks at NFL Films, Football America. 9 real-life stories about people who love the game of football. It premieres Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern on TNT. 3rd and 6. Testaverde has Biner in the backfield.
And 5 defensive linemen in right now for the Colts.
That's about all they've got healthy. Here's Testaverde with some pressure. Goes deep, wide open. Alexander for the touchdown.
Wow. The Colt defense trying to put some pressure on Vinny Testaverde, bring in 5 defensive linemen, and a la Jim Harbaugh, he beats the rush straight ahead. And then had plenty of time to find a wide open Derek Alexander on the post route. He beat Eugene Daniel on that play. Boy.
Testaverde with 3 last week, and he sparks them on this drive perfect with 4 for 4 and a 23-yard touchdown that gives him 59 yards passing with the touchdown drive. The hold is down, and Matt Stover knocks home the extra point.
You know, a change of pace defensively for the Colts that Vinny Testaverde is able to beat. The pressure was there, but his strong body beats the rush, and then the arm, and then the touchdown.
A 23-yard toss, Testaverde to Derek Alexander. And that brings the Colts to within 3, 10-7 now here in the second quarter. 8:02 remaining before halftime. Matt Stover will kick it off. And Aaron Bailey waits for it near the 2-yard line. number 50. And the tackle was made by Ed Sutter, number 54. Scoring drive for Testaverde and the Ravens. Biner for 11 yards, and then a 10-yard run by Ernest Biner. Alexander caught back-to-back passes of 21 and 23.
Well, when you're playing a 5-man front, you're going to play a lot of man-for-man defense. Watch Jason Belser scream up here, and then watch the move down here in the bottom that Derek Alexander puts on Eugene Daniel. Man-for-man coverage, fakes him outside, good route inside, and boy, they caught him in the bad defense.
1st and 10, Harbaugh. They hand it off to Marshall Faulk, and he doesn't get much. By the way, Rob Burnett, there's Ray Lewis again, another tackle for Lewis. Young man from Miami. Rob Burnett taken to the locker room for examination of a knee injury.
You know, Ray Lewis now has 10 tackles and a sack. And the one thing about Marshall Faulk, you better get him early in the run, because if you get some momentum and some cutback room, he is going to go the distance.
Ray Lewis had a teammate and his best friend, Marlon Barnes, shot and killed in a tragic crime that took place this summer. He wears a T-shirt under his uniform with a picture of himself and his late friend. Here's Harbaugh scrambling. And the tackle is made by James Jones, number 97. Former Brown, then Bronco, and now a Raven.
What you know about James Jones? He has a very unusual stat about it. He's a defensive lineman, right? Nose tackle. How many nose tackles do you know? I want you to name 3 nose tackles that have scored on a reception, on a run, on an interception for a touchdown, and on a safety. How many defensive nose tackles do you know that have done that?
Jerry Bowl?
No. James Jones is the only one.
I kind of figured that. I just wanted to play the game.
Well, it's a good answer, but it was dead wrong again.
Not the first time. 3rd and 3.
You know, this is the kind of guy that offensive linemen have to love. That was a quarterback draw all the way. You know, he is not a quarterback. He's just a football player. The left guard, number 64, Wydell, is going to lead the way. Just kind of traps his guy, the outside linebacker, Powell. And how many teams call a quarterback draw on 3rd and 3 when your quarterback's limping around? Well, Lindy Infante knows he's got one tough quarterback in Jim Harbaugh.
And he is the leading rusher for the Colts tonight with 15 yards. Faulk got some room, got some speed. First down.
Yeah, Ray Lewis has got some speed too. That was the cutback running we were just talking about. I mean, there are guys in the league like Barry Sanders who can stop and start like nobody else. But Marshall Faulk may well be the best cutback guy, so you can't overrun him. Again, Adams, number 43, misses him, but a hustling Ray Lewis, his 12th tackle now of this ball game, saved a much longer run.
Marshall Faulk trying to go over 1,000 yards for the 3rd consecutive year. He would join a select group of backs who have done that in the NFL. Here's Cliff Gross. Oh, my goodness. How did that happen?
Good blocking. That's how that happens. Against a defense that is really struggling.
Langham and Stevan Moore make the tackle.
245 pounds of Gross coming at you. Doug Wydell again gets a big block. And then he secures the football, which you'll love to see.
That's the longest run of his short National Football League career. 24 yards. He had only 40 yards on the season coming in, and he's playing in place of an injured Zach Crockett, who was playing in place of a suspended Roosevelt Potts. 1st and 10, Harbaugh throws it away. Lindy Infante was talking about what he loved about Jim Harbaugh last week in the game against Buffalo in overtime. Not that he took the sacks, 6 of them, but that he threw the ball away so many times to keep from taking a sack.
He's not a prima donna. You know, you talk about guys that offensive linemen and teammates love. A lot of guys, quarterbacks, worry about their statistics. So he doesn't care about it. He'll throw the ball away to avoid a sack, and sometimes he'll take the sack so he doesn't throw an interception. He's aggressive, but he's very careful with the football.
Well, he gave new meaning to resuscitation, the way his career was ignited last year here in Indianapolis. Here's the handoff to Gross, and he plunges down to the 12-yard line.
As you watch Cliff Gross, this coaching staff of the Colts, Ted Marchibroda did it last year as the head coach. Lindy Infante does it this year as the head coach. They're getting more and more production out of their entire 53-man roster. I mean, a lot of these backups, and tonight it's Gross's turn, have contributed this season, and big contributors in clutch situations, and that's one of the reasons they're 4-1.
4 wideouts now on 3rd down and 5. Remember the susceptibility the Ravens have shown to 3rd down plays, and Baltimore has given up 5 of 7 tonight. Here comes the rush. Harbaugh, watch out, fires it. Oh my goodness, Donnie Brady, number 24, had it slip through his hands.
Yeah, this is only the 6th game of the year. Jim Harbaugh is down again. 6th game of the year, but Harbaugh has been taking some punishment the last 2 weeks. He's holding his right wrist, and that's never a good sign. But
Craig Powell, number 59, is the man who hit him.
Boy, again, one more time he tries to beat the pass rush right up the gut, up the middle. Oh, he just got sandwiched. And his right hand, he is still holding it as he walks off. And so many quarterbacks break hands on helmets. I did it several times, and that's what happened to him. That's not looking good.
Paul Justin is the backup for the Colts. 28-year-old who's in his 2nd season in the NFL. Now the attempt for the field goal. Kerry Blanchard, number 14. And he gets his 2nd of the night and his 11th of the season. That one's good from 30 yards for Kerry Blanchard, but the concern now for Jim Harbaugh, the Colts' gutty and courageous quarterback, and the injury to that right wrist.
You know, a lot of quarterbacks get their hands banged around on helmets and face masks, and Jim Harbaugh just got sandwiched. Now they're going down to the, it's cut there, as you see on his knuckle.
He doesn't seem to be reacting with a grimace or anything.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
That is a darn good sign. A football player, not a quarterback. Inappropriate to call him maybe a quarterback.
Well, he came here as a free agent after that up and down career in Chicago. I guess Mike Ditka would agree that it was an up and down career. And really, Lindy Infante was telling us last night that he was brought in as the offensive coordinator under Ted Marchibroda and was told Craig Erickson is the starting quarterback. They wanted Erickson to be the quarterback. But in preseason training camp between the three, Paul Justin, Craig Erickson, Jim Harbaugh, Infante said, heck, it was tough to make a choice. They did start Erickson, but he struggled the first couple of games. Harbaugh came on in relief, brought the team back, and then was ultimately installed as the starter and had a magical year. Here's the kickoff. Jermaine Lewis at the 5. Oh, what a pop he took. Sammy Burroughs, number 53. Wow.
You know, they knew Sammy Burroughs was a good special teams player, number 53, but he has filled in as a starter, did last week, and played particularly well. And again, that's what this Colt team has done, is found some real depth, and it's good to see Jim Harbaugh was throwing a moment ago on the sideline.
Laughing with Paul Justin, the backup. That's a good sign, too.
It is, yeah. He does seem to enjoy it, doesn't he, Harbaugh?
Yes. And in so doing, he becomes an enjoyable man to be around. Here's Testaverde, beautiful pass. Gracious arc on that ball. He just lofted it over and into the hands of Derek Alexander.
Beautiful and gracious were two adjectives you use, Vern. And, you know, this is where Vinny Testaverde kind of teases you so much, because he can make absolutely remarkable throws over the linebacker, in front of the defensive back, and then he can throw an interception the next play. The consistency is what this Ravens team needs from Testaverde.
They trailed by 6 after the 23-yard gain. Handoff to Biner, got a lot of room. And Ernest Biner is knocked off his feet at the 41, just shy of a first down. Injury update for the Colts, and we've had a full hospital ward tonight. Tony McCoy, the defensive lineman, a bruised left knee, and he's questionable in terms of his availability for the remainder of the night. We get close to the 2-minute warning.
Jonathan Ogden and Tony Saragusa continue to go at it pretty good, Vern.
13-7. That's Brian Kinchin, the tight end. Biner finds a little opening provided by Brian Kinchin and Ogden. And Tony Jones out there on the left side, and that's good enough for a first down. Quentin Coriat, number 55, maybe made the tackle. And we've reached the 2-minute warning at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. Harbaugh and the Colts lead the Ravens by 6.
This is the Silicon Prairie, where we get 30,000 calls a day here at Gateway 2000. How come?
Because it was the best value.
I got my money's worth.
We built the computer that I needed.
I needed a high-performance machine, and that's what I got.
And they were great. I felt comfortable right away.
Great big boxes, look like a cow.
I got a fork.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. So call 1-800-GATEWAY and ask for our free video. Isn't it time you called?
If you think stress is tough on you, consider your engine. Traffic jams, towing and hauling, even idling can lead to damaging wear. That's why Castrol is introducing Syntec Blend, the only synthetic blend that combines Castrol conventional oil and Syntec molecular components for greater protection than conventional oil in severe driving conditions, because too much stress can be fatal. Castrol Syntec Blend, added protection for severe driving conditions.
Well, Tony McCoy has answered the question. He's back on the field after we said he was questionable. Coming up on the Fruit of the Loom halftime report, Vince Cellini will have no-huddle highlights from all of today's action, and Mark May and Randall Cunningham will add their analysis coming up at halftime on the Fruit of the Loom halftime report.
I was watching that Buffalo-Miami game. Two things struck me. Miami's defense was phenomenal, and Andre Reed in a losing effort was equally phenomenal. Just spectacular over the middle.
1st and 10. Kinchin in motion. Handed off to Biner. He's got room at right guard, but the hole closes quickly, and he manages to pick up just a couple. Now, keep in mind that Baltimore burned 2 of their 3 timeouts earlier in the half. They have 1 left. Saragusa makes the tackle.
Yes, Saragusa, nicknamed Stinky, and
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I won't regale you with those tales, but this is a guy, their defense, their run defense starts with number 98. A much different defensive tackle than the other one, Tony McCoy, who's kind of a quick gap kind of player. Saragusa will blow right through you.
Jackson left, Alexander right, Kinchin in motion. Biner, they keep it on the ground. And they might have wanted a fumble. Ray Buchanan, a pass. Ray Buchanan with the tackle.
Yeah, good support by Ray Buchanan. I mean, that's why you have to admire some of these corners around the league. Ray Buchanan on one play trying to guard Michael Jackson. The next play coming up and fighting off offensive linemen and making a stop on Ernest Biner.
Well, the Ravens deliberate in their offensive huddle. That clock continues to unravel. It's down to 50 seconds now. 36. Richard Dent, the ageless one.
Still has some pass rush in him. In his 12th season. 96 up here at the top. Runs right around Brian Kinchin, the tight end. I mean, that's a quick first step for a guy in his 12th year. And for great pass rushers, it's always the first step.
3.5 sacks in the season, the 130 for his career. And it takes Baltimore out of any possibility of a field goal attempt. And this one's going to be down inside the 5 at the 2-yard line. Montgomery, who sat out of football a year ago in a contract dispute, has to be very pleased with that one. Glenn, who's a hockey-playing punter from Red Bank, New Jersey. Longtime punter with the Houston Oilers and then with Detroit 2 years ago.
Jim Harbaugh trots back onto the field. This has been a physically rough first half for him, coming off from a physical pounding in Buffalo last week. They're just going to run this one out.
Yep. Harrison back as a safety. And the official word for Jim Harbaugh is a bruised hand. Good first half. And the Colts, off to their best start since Ted Marchibroda was the coach of the Baltimore Colts in 1977, are going after their 5th victory of this young season, and they lead by 6.5 over the Baltimore Ravens.
With Sierra's strength and exceptional power, life's daily obstacles are easily handled. But with Sierra's 3rd door, you will have one less hurdle to overcome. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
Get comfortable for the Fruit of the Loom halftime report, brought to you by the makers of really, really comfortable clothing. Fruit of the Loom.
At halftime of the last 4 games on TNT, the score's been 13-10. We almost made it. Indy's leading 13-7 at the break. Both Harbaugh and Testaverde have thrown for touchdown passes in that game. And we are back in our Atlanta studios. Hi, and welcome to the Fruit of the Loom halftime report. Vince Cellini along with Mark May and Randall Cunningham. A day when Michael Irvin returned, as did Cowboy confidence and a victory. More on that later, but first, the no-huddle highlights, a staple of our halftime coverage. Let's get right to it, shall we? Miami Buffalo, and this was the finish on a 4th and goal with Buffalo trailing by 7, 14-7. Jim Kelly in there and starting today, picked his 3rd of the day, and Terrell Buckley made him pay, taking it back 91 yards the other way for the touchdown. Kelly was also sacked 7 times in the game as the Dolphins win 21-7. And now both teams are 4-2.
Arizona at Dallas, the first game back for Michael Irvin, and he was welcomed with both tears and boos. But today he had 5 catches for 15 yards. Here's his first catch for a first down. Emmitt Smith rambles in from 1 yard out, his 100th rushing touchdown of his career. The Cowboys are back to 500, 17-3.
Philadelphia, New York, the Giants down by 2, trying to come back. Dave Brown. Mike Mamula causes the fumble. Slim Willie T of the Philadelphia Eagles linebacker picks it up, takes it in for the touchdown. Eagles 19, Giants 10.
Detroit dropping by Oakland, and a big day for Jeff Hostetler, who threw for 4 touchdowns, a couple of them to James Gent, who gets behind coverage here, 58 yards of a score. 1 of 2 for Jeff. Oakland built a 34-0 lead, had to hang on to beat Detroit.
Minnesota, Tampa Bay, big day for Trent Dilfer. That's right, Trent Dilfer in the Bucs. The 11-yard touchdown scoring pass to Rob Thomas. 1 of 3 of the day. The Bucs win 24-3 over the Vikings. 24-13.
Air McNair going around the corner. Touchdown! Superman, they should call him. 23-13. They take the victory.
Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, and Jeff Blake sacked 10 times. That tied a team record on this one. Levon Kirkland jars the ball loose. Rod Woodson would score. 4th defensive touchdown of the year for the Steelers. They win their 5th straight. They're 5-1, doubling up the Bengals.
Chicago at New Orleans at the Superdome. Jim Everett throws 2 touchdown passes on the day. This one to Michael Haynes. The Saints go marching in. They win their 2nd in a row, 27-24 over the Bears.
St. Louis at Carolina. Tony Banks, the rookie quarterback. Oops, sorry about that. Kevin Green. He used to play for the Rams. He's taking it. I'm getting tired. Anybody coming? Dives in for the touchdown. Carolina 45, St. Louis 13.
Washington and New England. The Skins' Leslie Shepard on the reverse, and he'll take this 32 yards through traffic for a touchdown. Washington moves to 5-1. Nice road win, 27-22.
The New York Jets at Jacksonville with a score tied 14 late in the 3rd. And Mark Brunell goes 41 yards to Willie Jackson for the go-ahead score. The Jets lose again? 21-17, Jets lose to the Jaguars.
Those are your no-huddle highlights. This is Fruit of the Loom halftime. That is Brian Stabline. First NFL touchdown from Harbaugh. We'll be right back with more in just a minute.
Some guys wear them on the field. Most wear them on the couch. Comfortable cotton tees, tanks, shorts, and sweats. Fruit of the Loom. Really, really comfortable casual wear.
Face it, no other razor shaves closer or with more comfort than Gillette Sensor XL. Soft microfins that protect your skin and individually spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face. No razor feels more comfortable during your shave or leaves your face smoother after. Gillette Sensor XL. And try new Gillette Aftershave, a splash that moisturizes as it refreshes.
Hi, I'm Steve Largent, checking out a little personal history at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now I can get right back into the action, thanks to an exciting and unique attraction called the 100-Yard Universe. This theater actually rotates, allowing the fans to follow the players on game day from the locker room to the field. So take a trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. You'll see NFL action like you've never seen it before in the 100-Yard Universe.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
The New York Yankees back in the World Series for the first time in 15 years, wrapping up the ALCS 4-1 over Baltimore. Fielder, Leyritz, Strawberry, all homer, and a 6-run Yankee third. Bernie Williams, the MVP. Now who to play? Tonight in St. Louis, Game 4 of the NLCS. Now 2-0 Braves. The difference in this game, solo home runs by Ryan Klesko and Mark Lemke. Nagel versus Andy Bennis. But back to football, and for 5 games, they were hurting Cowboys. Of course, it could have been worse. At 2-3, Dallas welcomed back suspended star receiver Michael Irvin, who caught 5 passes for 51 yards in a 17-3 win over Arizona. Those numbers don't sound like much, but Michael's impact today was enormous.
It was a warm welcome home. This is home, and it was a warm welcome home. And I do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. It was a great feeling. Being back on the football field. It was a great feeling going to battle with my family. And they are my family.
I think overall Michael is going to get better as the weeks go on. I mean, he helped me out today. I think everybody on the offensive line helped out, and we all contributed our part in winning this game. And the defense and special team also played very well for us today. Everybody, it was a total team effort all the way around, no matter how you look at it.
Season high 112 for Emmitt Smith on the ground. Perhaps the most dangerous 3-3 team in football, guys. And right now, Washington is the leader in the NFC East at 5-1. Your old team, the Eagles, at 4-2. But I wonder if both of those clubs aren't looking over their shoulder at a resurging Cowboy team.
I tell you what, Vince. When I was playing and we had a record like this, I was always looking at Dallas. And the Philadelphia Eagles lost to Dallas in Philly. Last year, we beat Dallas in Philly. They still have to travel to Dallas, so they definitely got to look at that.
Well, 2 weeks ago, Philadelphia had the opportunity to really put the stake in the Cowboys' heart on Monday night, and they couldn't get it done. Now the Cowboys are getting healthy. They've got their playmaker back, Michael Irvin. They're at 500 now. This is a team to be reckoned with. The Redskins have a few games up on them, but the Redskins have the advantage. They beat the Cowboys twice last year, where Philadelphia didn't.
Dallas will play Philadelphia again November 3rd, and then Dallas and Washington on Thanksgiving. So
good game. We know who's going to win that.
Everybody's keeping an eye on Dallas right now. All right, we'll be back after the game with a Steel post-game show, complete Week 7 highlights, and more on Michael Irvin's return and Miami's huge win at Buffalo. Reports from both of those cities. But at the half, Baltimore, Indianapolis, it's Indy 13-7. We hope the Ravens have a better third than the Orioles did this afternoon.
Yuck, yuck.
Hope you had a comfortable time watching the Fruit of the Loom halftime report.
It can happen in any home and in any neighborhood. It's domestic violence. I'm Steve Atwater of the Denver Broncos, and this is my wife, Letha. The NFL and its players are concerned about the problems of domestic violence. That's why we're United Way volunteers working for the Safe House here in Denver. United Way supports more than 1,000 centers like this one here in Denver and cities across the nation. The United Way, reaching those who need help, touching us all.
I'm an excellent driver.
I'm an excellent driver.
I'm an excellent driver.
Of course, I'm an excellent driver. We'll have to let you drive sometime.
The movies you know by heart. The new classics on TNT.
The NFL on TNT is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of the Trooper, Rodeo, and the all-new Ombre pickup. Isuzu, equipment for real life. And by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar, America's favorite neighbor.
Halftime in Indianapolis, first ever meeting between the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. And the difference right now in the game, 2 Kerry Blanchard field goals in the first half. We have a 13-7 score. Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden. What has caught your attention in the first 30 minutes of play?
Well, I think the biggest thing has been the touchdowns. I mean, the kind of blown coverages by both teams allowed really easy scores. The first one here, as you'll see, 86, Brian Stabline over Antonio Langham, who was supposed to have the deep outside, number 38, and he was open by a good 15 yards. Then the Colts were in a defense where they're trying to put pressure on the quarterback, man-for-man coverage. Eugene Daniel has outside coverage. It's an easy post pattern for touchdown, but those 2 big errors are the difference in the ballgame. We began the evening talking about Jonathan Ogden, the huge left guard for the Baltimore Ravens, the 4th-round draft pick this year, 4th pick of the draft in the first round. Let's take a look at how he's done. Well, he and against Saragusa, we set that up early, and you can see a few plays here by number 75, Ogden, that really show you why people are excited about him. That was the screen play where he gets out in front. Then he kind of handles Saragusa, caves him down inside. One more time allows Biner to cut back. So he's had his moments in this first half. Saragusa had his moments as well. So that's been a battle, an interesting one to watch. I think the one thing that probably surprised us both was this Baltimore pass rush. They got to Jim Harbaugh 3 times in the first quarter of play. Yeah, I remember coming in, they were last in the league with only 6 sacks. So this has been, and there's one guy who had one of those sacks. Ray Lewis played middle linebacker, who's been very, very good in this first half. 11 tackles and a sack. Time of possession, Indianapolis with a huge edge, and they lead in passing yards by 42. 3rd down conversions, Indianapolis 5 of 8 in Baltimore 2 of 5. As we get set for the second half, taken by Randy Baldwin, 6-year man who was just signed as a free agent this week as a special teams player. Randy Baldwin took the place on the roster of Ernest Hunter, who was waived after the game last week. So Baldwin gets it out to the 33-yard line, and here comes Vinny Testaverde. Yeah, one of the things in the first half which strikes me, Michael Jackson, their best receiver and his favorite target, has not caught a pass tonight. And again, one of those matchups, Michael Jackson and Ray Buchanan, well, the first half was owned by Ray Buchanan, who shut him out. Michael Jackson goes left against Ray Buchanan. Sweep right side. Ernest Biner crosses the 35 and skips out to the 38-yard line. Jason Belser, number 29, and Tony Siragusa, number 98, there for the tackle. Ernest Biner, again, gets so much out of just determination and a passion for the game. He and Marcus Allen, kind of some elder statesmen at that position, to kind of twists and turns and always cheat you out of a couple extra yards. Hey, take the helmet off. He looks like a throwback to the Mod Squad in the 70s. He's letting the hair grow. He's got an afro now. And he said, Randall Cunningham, get off my case. Here's the handoff to Biner up the middle. He gets to the 43. Tony McCoy, out with an injury for a short time, made the tackle. Ernest Biner. Now that's pre-throw. That's the modified version. Yeah. It's a little longer than that. That was when the Ravens were still looking forward to their first regular season game. 3rd and 1. What a career. You mentioned 149 yards earlier this year against the Saints. 3rd and 1. And Biner tests left guard. I don't think he got it. Tony McCoy, number 61, was the first man there. Yeah, Tony McCoy and Tony Siragusa really play off one another, Vern. Completely different types of defensive tackles. You take a look again at the left guard, Jonathan Ogden with a double team with Everett. He gets kind of pushed back again that time. Steve Morrison again part of that, and Sammy Burrows, those backup linebackers have really had a lot of success for the Colts thus far this year. Well, there's a stretch, and did he? No, he did not. Missed by how much, Vern? Smidgen. Smidgen. Yeah, smidgen. Ted Marchibroda says go for it. Yep. How about that? Ted, who insisted that this was just another game. His players tell us that's not quite true.
someday he will be the answer to a trivia question, will Ted Marchibroda. The only man to coach franchises, the same franchise in 2 cities, and to coach different franchises in the same city.
Geez, that's too confusing for me. But tell you one thing, on this 4th down, I wouldn't be running at Tony Saragusa.
See if they come right. Quarterback keeper. Testaverde is 6'5", and a flag is down on the far side of the field. Now, do you call that a quarterback sneak?
That was a quarterback dive. Quarterback push, but not a quarterback sneak. Yeah.
Here's Johnny Greer.
Offside. Defense. The nose guard. That's a first down.
Boy. Well, they didn't need a stretching Vinny Testaverde. The defense lined up offsides.
And this is a Baltimore team that gave up 13 penalties, had 13 penalties last week. Indianapolis leads the league in fewest penalties. They came in with only 20. That is their second tonight. Colts had 11 going into last week's game, and they gave up 13 a week ago. Here's Testaverde, first down. Blitz. Testaverde wide open. Out of the near side is Harold Bishop, the tight end, number 80. This is a team that also has Eric Green on the roster now, the former Pittsburgh tight end. He is coming back from a knee injury, having played at Miami, and is with the team, did practice this week, but is not active today. Eric Green.
Yeah, when they get Eric Green going and Bam Morris involved in this offense, it will be a much more productive offense. And those wide receivers are going to be the beneficiary of Eric Green's play.
2nd and 1. Bring it back.
Ball start. Number 70, offense.
Herman Arvey, backup tackle, number 70. I mentioned that Baltimore had those 11 penalties coming into the game last week against New England, and all of a sudden the bottom went out. They were the least penalized team in the league, and then what happened? 13 for 156. What do those things look like?
The things that you play,
Badminton?
Badminton. There you go.
Shuttlecock.
No, I knew you'd give it to me.
Oh, dear. Biner hit right at the line of scrimmage. Quentin Correa, number 55.
And we said if the Ravens are going to win this thing, it's going to come, I believe, in the passing game. They've had one big pass play to Derek Alexander, because they are very, very difficult to run against with any consistency. Because the defensive tackles and their inside linebacker, Jeff Harrod.
3rd and 6. Alexander near side. 4-man rush. Testaverde drills it. Flag is thrown. Pass interference.
Well, those flags were thrown with authority.
Ray Buchanan may have bruised his ribs on the shoulder pads of Michael Jackson.
Well, that's a matchup, though, that has really been fun to watch. Ray Buchanan against Michael Jackson. Jackson is the outside guy up here.
34, defense, first down.
And again, a good read by Ray Buchanan, but he jumps it a little too quickly. And it's clearly pass interference. But he has covered Michael Jackson well tonight.
Michael Jackson, as a high school senior, was recruited to the Southern Mississippi School as a quarterback. But when Michael Jackson got to the campus, there was this kid named Brett Favre who was there.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Became a wide receiver. First and 10 after the pass interference at the 40. Couple.
Yeah, there's just nowhere to go. I mean, these Colts, they get blocked, but they don't stay blocked. A lot of defensive line movement down the line of scrimmage. You have strong safeties and free safeties and linebackers filling holes, and Ernest Biner has nowhere to go. No superstars really on this Colt team, but boy, they play well together.
Well, they are a team that is yielding only 3.2 yards per rush, low in the league. And the longest run tonight by the Baltimore Ravens is 10 yards. Here's the blitz again. The pass is open to Brian Kinchin, and that'll be enough for the first down inside the 30 to the 29.
Well, the first catch by the tight end Kinchin tonight. And we mentioned Michael Jackson still does not have a catch. But the maturity of Vinny Testaverde is right here, the tight end. Good read, sees the inside blitz. He had a defensive lineman, Ellis Johnson, trying to cover him. That's the kind of matchup you like if you're a quarterback. And Kinchin catches his first pass.
First and 10. Testaverde gets away from Richard Dent. Has Jackson wide open. Jackson slips and falls, and Buchanan catches up with him. But Dent had a hand on Testaverde.
And Testaverde is a strong quarterback. I mean, years ago, this guy used to be a good scrambler in his own right. And Ray Buchanan kind of tripped a little bit. Look at the scramble first by Vinny Testaverde. Again, it's a great job of avoiding the rush by Dent and the sack. And then you see Ray Buchanan trips, just feels that he's going to get sacked, gives up on the play, and Michael Jackson makes a nice 22-yard catch.
First reception of the night for Michael Jackson. That's first and goal, Baltimore. Biner at right guard inside the 5, near the 3-yard line, and Biner now 17 carries for the night for Ted Marchibroda's team. Well, we thought we would see Bam Morris, but Biner has been very effective. He took a couple of plays off in the first half and gave way to Carwell Gardner.
So you have there's Bam Morris. But the Ravens have two guys that are particularly good inside the 10, I think. You have Ernest Biner, a good inside runner, and you got Michael Jackson, number 81, who's out-leapt a lot of people during his 6-year career.
Testaverde looking right, fires it deep in the end zone over the head of Derek Alexander, number 82, who has a touchdown catch, the touchdown catch of the night for Baltimore. He was open. And it'll be third down. Testaverde now 8 of 11 for 122. Harad Saragusa come out. Jackson goes left. Calvin Williams goes left, the former Philadelphia wide receiver. Alexander to the right. And Kinchin, the tight end, is tight right. Testaverde in the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Derek Alexander's second grab tonight over Jason Belzer.
And Vinny Testaverde staying away from Ray Buchanan and Michael Jackson. He's getting singled, and although Derek Alexander had some double coverage on him, Vinny Testaverde with a strong arm was able to squeeze it in there, Vern. Good throw, good play by Alexander. As we said earlier, he is one of the keys to their offensive season, becoming a strong number 2 receiver.
Testaverde with 3 touchdown tosses a week ago in a losing effort. Now has tied this game up with that toss, and here is Matt Stover to put the Baltimore Ravens on top. The hold from Montgomery, the pass, Testaverde into the corner.
Yeah, one of those fade stops. You fake like you're going to run the fade, you stop, you get in between the 2 defenders, and you have a quarterback with a strong enough arm to drill it in there, and you catch your second touchdown of the night.
When you don't feel like you belong, all you want to do is disappear.
No place to go. I don't have any place to go either.
Find your way home with the TNT Big Premiere, Josh and Sam. Premiering Tuesday at 8 on TNT.
Nice night thus far for Vinny Testaverde, 9 of 12 for 127, 2 touchdowns, the last of which went into the hands of Derek Alexander. And with the extra point from Matt Stover, the Ravens have their first lead of the night in the first meeting ever between the erstwhile Cleveland Browns and the erstwhile Baltimore Colts. Aaron Bailey takes Stover's kick at the 5. Down there and forces Bailey out of bounds. So the Indianapolis Colts will have it on offense for the first time in the third quarter when we come back.
Ever since time began, the world has gone 2 by 2. The perfect combo. Applebee's tender, juicy riblets and crispy golden chicken fingers in 3 flavors. Classic original, ranch, and fire fingers. Together right now on platters and baskets, any way you want them. Applebee's riblets and chicken fingers. Some things were just meant to be together.
America's favorite flavor, Applebee's.
How far can MasterCard take you? Here in Australia, MasterCard takes you into the future. The new MasterCard Cash Card. A MasterCard you can use just like cash. It's happening right now down under, and it's on its way here.
Indianapolis Colts, Jim Harbaugh at quarterback, get the ball on offense for the first time. They are trailing by 1, 14-13, 8:05 to go. Harbaugh 7 of 9 for 121. The surprise of the first half after he hit his first 6 passes was that he was sacked 3 times in the first quarter. First offensive play of the second half now, and his team trailing for the first time in the ball game. He'll throw on first down. Here comes Anthony Pleasant. Harbaugh for Cliff Gross. Well, Jim Harbaugh, you'll notice, is wearing a play card on his right wrist. He refers to that every once in a while. That's a tradition with the Colts that began 31 years ago. And the guy who started it is here tonight, Tom Matte, a running back for the great Baltimore teams, called upon to play quarterback because Johnny Unitas and Gary Cawazzo were injured when they played Green Bay 1965, the day after Christmas. That guy used a wristband to remember the plays. The sad night for the Colts is that they lost the game 13-10. Here's Marshall Faulk. And Marshall Faulk gets loose across the 50 to the 46.
Marshall Faulk only has 18 yards on 7 carries. And that's just his first catch of the night. But at any moment, Marshall Faulk can break a game open. And I think offensive linemen know this. And on plays like this, you give them a little bit of a screen. And as Loudermilk and Wydell did, you let him break some tackles. Loudermilk actually gets 2 blocks, and you have a 21-yard gain. You always have to worry about him. And this team, they don't get discouraged easily.
First and 10 at the 46. Draw play, Gross. Caught and dropped immediately. And Ray Lewis again. What a game he's having.
He is really having a great game. So he's done a little bit of everything tonight. I mean, he's rushed the passer on a sack right there of Harbaugh in the first half. And then he's got to stuff the inside run before Marshall Faulk can get started. And then determination and speed and hustle gets him out on the backside. 11 tackles and a sack on the evening.
29th player chosen in the draft back spring. Here's a full blitz. Harbaugh with terrific protection. And he fires it left side, and it's caught by Sean Dawkins, number 87. What wonderful protection Harbaugh got from his offensive line then.
Yeah, he has not gotten a lot of it tonight. We've talked about the sacks. 3 new offensive linemen for the Colts this year. Started with the play action fake to Gross, and Gross did a good job of picking up the blitz. And first the fake to Gross, and then he picks up the blitz, and that allowed Harbaugh to step in the pocket and drill it to Dawkins.
Gain of 13 for Lindy and Fonte's Colt offense, and Harbaugh is back to the line of scrimmage. Bruised wrist for Harbaugh, obviously no effect. Draw play, Gross. And they get to the 32-yard line.
You know, you mentioned, Tom Matte's thing. That's his wristband that he wore in that 65 championship game. You see Jim Harbaugh's, and Tommy, that's in Canton, Ohio, Hall of Fame.
Here's one interesting thing about Tom Matte and how convoluted the records for these two teams are. He's in the Baltimore Press Guide, given credit for the longest run in Baltimore professional football franchise history, 80 yards. He is in the Indianapolis Colt Press Guide, longest run of 80 yards. I don't think he could equal that right now.
No, he might get 8.
Like all of us who remember when he played, he's put on a couple of pounds. 2nd and 7. Gross drops it.
I was impressed that you knew the other quarterback. Everybody knew Johnny Unitas wasn't the guy, but Gary Quazzo, well done.
Well, the dentist.
Yeah.
The dentist. You forget that I was alive and kicking back in those days. I was really kicking.
We're happy to have you with us again, Vern.
Thank
you. Looking at the thing. The old cheat sheet, did you ever use one of those on the SAT exam yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a preacher's son. 3rd and 7. Blitz. Harbaugh being chased. And that might draw a flag. Yes, it does. Craig Powell, number 59.
And really one of the few times Jim Harbaugh has scrambled outside. He's featured the inside scramble tonight. This time he races from the outside. And is there a late hit there? He's out of bounds. They're going to call that all the time against a quarterback. At running back, you get the benefit of the doubt, but he was clearly out. Craig Powell gets the penalty flag thrown. And when you're playing against the home quarterback, it's even more of a...
Unnecessary roughness on the defense. Late hit out of bounds. First down.
Craig Powell is the man who was guilty of the penalty. Benny Thompson was chasing Harbaugh.
Well, he's had 8 scrambles this evening.
Ted Marchibroda continues to plead the case without success.
There's a guy, the avuncular Ted Marchibroda, who does not get upset too often.
I got to tell you, I really like working with an analyst who tosses in avuncular now and then.
Well, he's going to avuncular it right down the field now.
Playing that while you were performing your ablutions this morning? 1st and 10. Vaught for a couple. And Ray Lewis again, Pat.
Well, you know, you have to be impressed with Ray Lewis, and there have been some good rookies around this year, and Ray Lewis is one of them. Zach Thomas is another down in Miami playing middle linebacker. Fights off the block of Wydell and Mollum. I mean, remember we were talking to Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator, and he was saying about him, hey, the one thing Ray Lewis has to do is attack blocks, fight through them rather than run around them. Well, that's what he's done tonight.
2nd and 8, there's Marvin Lewis. First year as a defensive coordinator at the age of 37. Draw play, Gross. This time it works to perfection. I don't know that he got the first down, but he carries it down to the 5-yard line.
I'll tell you who's having a good night blocking for this Colt offensive line is number 64, Doug Wydell. We have shown him a couple times. He's the left guard. Fakes like it's a pass, kind of seals off the inside, and the draw play has been effective tonight for Gross. Not so much for Marshall Faulk, but it has been for Cliff Gross.
3rd and 1, and the Colts will go with 3 tight ends now. Gilger, Marcus Pollard, and Scott Slutzker.
And this is where Ray Lewis needs to make another big play.
Pollard in motion. Faulk up the middle, 1st and goal at the 1.
Oh, did Kirk Loudermilk, the center, put a block on Ray Lewis. Left part of your screen is Kirk Loudermilk, right through here. And Lewis is 52. Blocks the nose tackle, comes off on the center, and that's a terrific block, slip block by Kirk Loudermilk.
Loudermilk, who took his family back to the farm in Kensington, Ohio this summer, didn't get the contract he wanted until just a week before preseason ended. And then came back and is starting yet again in his 12th year. Marshall Faulk at the goal line. He did not get in. Ray Lewis this time fought off the block of Loudermilk.
Faulk, 10 carries, 24 yards. What's he averaging? Move the decimal point. Move the decimal point.
2.4.
I tell you, it's been a struggle.
I knew that was a struggle for me. I'm a sociology major.
Watch number 52 again. Defensive line gets low. They get some penetration. Ray Lewis fights through some guys, but really the defensive line did a terrific job there for Marvin Lewis's defense.
Backs in the eye. Falk again tries to go up on top, and he is stiffened. Marcia Broda turns cheerleader. He liked that defensive effort. It'll be third down. Infanti's going to go back to the playbook.
Yeah, and defensive line play in short yardage is just a matter of determination, stuffing people. Ray Lewis just stuffed the lead blocker. Boy, good defensive line play, good linebacking play.
Third and goal from the 1.
Must defend Jim Harbaugh as a runner here, too.
Toss. He'll stroll in for the score. Good lead block from Cliff Gross. Marvin Pollard out there as well. And Marshall Falk puts the Colts back on top.
And Vern, a nice change of pace. 3 times inside, 3 stuffs. Then they run outside, 2 times inside, 2 stuffs. And third down, they pitch it outside, and he dances into the end zone. It's a nice ball game we have going here.
2 very impressive drives in the third quarter that has only a minute and 16 seconds left. Here's Kerry Blanchard. Extra point is up and good.
Watch the lead block by 33, Cliff Gross. Another one of those guys, a backup for the Colts, contributing in his own way as a runner, this time as a blocker. Marshall Falk in the end zone, and the Colts have a 6-point lead.
Pick up the new rodeo for the lowest price of the year during the Isuzu Big Deal Clearance Event going on now. Oh yeah, mud sold separately.
So you want me to tell you about some of the things that are on my Discover card statement? I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf ball's around here. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that? It pays to Discover.
Last year I was a rookie. I made a few rookie mistakes. Ouch. But this year I'm a seasoned pro. So when I see an opening, I'm gone.
That's why you'll find Rashawn Salam at Champ Sports. It's the place seasoned pros like him get the authentic Reebok stuff, like the Reebok Vicious Mid-Trainers.
Nice.
Cool wind shirts. And the new Odyssey jackets.
He must be a rookie.
Champ Sports, 1-800-2-BE-FIRST.
Here's the Isuzu practically amazing play of the day. 14-7 in the fourth quarter on a 4th and goal from the 10. Buffalo is turned away by Terrell Buckley, who not only picks off Jim Kelly's pass, but returns it 91 yards for a Miami touchdown in a 21-7 Dolphin win. The Isuzu practically amazing play of the day.
Welcome back to Indianapolis, where the Colts have gone back on top. Marcus Pollard urging the crowd to get with things here. As we get set for the kickoff, Chris Gardocki, late of the Chicago Bears in his second season here with the Colts. And this one will be taken by Jermaine Lewis at the 1-yard line. And Jermaine Lewis knocked down as he gets near the 22-yard line. Scott Slutzker, number 84, made the tackle. Time has been called. Colts by 6 over the Ravens.
Celebrating 50 years of the NBA. The season begins November 1st on TNT and TBS.
The choices we make in life add up to define who we are, how we live, how our children will live, and what our lives will mean to others. So while the kind of suit you buy won't change the world, it is one of those choices. Hart, Schaffner, and Marks for the quality of your life. Available at a fine store near you.
Back in Indianapolis, where the Colts lead by 6. Earlier today, Michael Irvin, having served his suspension rejoined the Dallas Cowboys, and now Bam Morris, having served out his suspension for 6 weeks, is joining his new team in the backfield. Bam Morris, late of the Pittsburgh Steelers, suspended because of drugs, is in the backfield for the first time. Play action?
Yes.
Yes.
Good call.
Oh, dear. They throw it to Harold Bishop, the tight end, number 80.
You know, good call, because everybody in this building, ourselves included, thought Bam Morris was going to get the ball. Play action fake. I would have liked to have seen him try to throw the ball a little deeper than that. But nonetheless, his first play as a Raven, he's a decoy.
Carwell Gardner has joined him in the backfield and will serve as a blocking back for Bam Morris. Backs in the eye. They give it to Gardner. Slip it to the big fullback, and he moves across the 41 out to the 42-yard line. And this has been a rapidly played game. This is only the third possession by either team in this quarter. Both teams scoring on their first possessions of the second half. Ted Marchibroda. He's giving him some body damage.
He looks like he knows what goes with crab cakes, though.
Second down and 5. Long-time Baltimore residents. And we have reached the end of 3. Got a good one brewing here in Indianapolis as the Colts lead the Ravens by 6.
I have now been off the Nicotrol patch for exactly 1 month. Using the Nicotrol patch, there was only the one dosage. And that made it very simple to use. You didn't have to worry about different phases and different steps that you had to go through.
New Nicotrol, a whole new and simple way to help you quit. Only Nicotrol has a 6-week program, not 10 weeks like the other patch or 12 weeks like the gum.
I didn't stop. I've quit. And to stop is momentarily. To quit is for good. And that's what I've done.
6 weeks, 1 step. Take control with Nicotrol.
All across America, you're there to see us through. Just around the corner, a neighborhood Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube. With 1,200 locations, we're always there when you need us. And we offer Pennzoil.
3,000 miles, you make us smile. America's Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
Back in Indianapolis, where the RCA Dome is sold out for the second consecutive home game. They sold out a Monday night encounter against Miami. It's a tough ticket here, though. They have none of the remaining home games thus far have sold out in Indianapolis. But the Colts, going after their 5th win of the year, lead the Baltimore Ravens 20-14. Vern Lundquist, Pat Hayden, glad you're with us on a Sunday night, week 7 of the 1996 National Football League season. And here is Bam Morris behind Carwell Gardner. Play action again. Testaverde deep left side, Jackson open. And the pass was underthrown, allowing Buchanan a chance to catch up.
Well, it's not too often you can outrun Vinny Testaverde's arm, but Michael Jackson did there. But Vern, that's what I expected the first time Bam Morris came in. The play action, you throw deep. But watch number 81, Michael Jackson, blow right by Ray Buchanan. The ball is thrown late. It is underthrown. That should have been a touchdown. Buchanan's really able to come back and knock the ball away. But boy, I love the call, but you got to give your receiver a chance when he's that wide open. Heave it down the field.
3rd and 5. Four-man rush. Dent coming from behind. Testaverde lobs it out to Jackson in front of Buchanan. And this one, Buchanan had his way with Jackson the first 3 quarters, but
boy, this has been a fun matchup. This one and the other one we've been watching, Ogden and Saragusa, but man for man, one-on-one the entire game. And this is some really good football by these two. Buchanan's got the best of it for most of the night, but Michael Jackson coming on now has 2 catches.
2 for 37, including 15 on that one. Gardner out.
Should have had a touchdown.
Yep. Jackson near side. Alexander far side. Boyd Turner's in the lineup. He's in the slot. Testaverde is picked off. Intercepted in the middle by Jeff Herrod. Here comes Herrod, and he's got a chance to score. Jeff Herrod in for the touchdown. He obviously saw Kevin Green this afternoon, and he doesn't Luke Gaines the last 2 yards. That is only the second interception of the season for the Indianapolis Colts. The other belongs to Ray Buchanan.
Well, Vinny Testaverde should have thrown a touchdown to his team a few plays earlier. Instead, under pressure from Tony Bennett, throws one to the guys in the blue jersey. And a good rush by Tony Bennett set it all up. And the toughest thing for Vinny Testaverde now is he's got to come back on the next series and get his team going. Down 26-14 at this point. Well, Jeff Harrod, known more as a run stopper than anything else. Yeah, they're going to go for 2 here. Yeah, first point scored off a turnover this season, and they will go for a 2-point play.
Well, that's only the 5th takeaway this Colt team has managed to achieve.
Yeah. This is one of those situations, too, when the Colts are making a 2-point play, is you must defend not only the wide receivers, but it's also Jim Harbaugh, particularly on a quarterback draw.
9 years in the league, his 108th straight start.
14-07.
And Johnny Greer trying to get the clock reset to 14:07. They do it. In his 108th start, Jeff Harrod, the middle linebacker, gets the first touchdown of his career.
You know, everybody on this Colt team has contributed this season in some form or fashion. And Lindy Infante has got a lot of his backups. And, you know, that time is Jeff Harrod, a starter, but intercepts his first pass and scores his first touchdown. So what's the quarterback draw here?
They go for 2. Incomplete. Brian Stabline, the intended receiver, and Harbaugh arguing about it. Well, our producer Peter Lasser is married to Cynthia Potter, a former Olympic diver who serves as a diving analyst during the Olympics last summer. I wonder how Cynthia would have graded Jeff Harrod's dive. It was definitely a pike. No jackknife there.
Over the past 13 years, no other import manufacturer has sold as many sport utility vehicles as American Isuzu Motors. But hey, why stop at 13? Right now you can lease a 96 Rodeo for some of the lowest prices of the year during the Isuzu Big Deal Clearance Event. The rugged, dependable, go-anywhere Isuzus.
Roll into Pep Boys right now and get a full set of 4 70,000-mile tires for just $169. That's any size, any 4 70,000-mile tires in stock for just $169 at Pep Boys now.
No matter which way you lean, you'll always have our full support. Ribbed cotton, superior waistband. Fruit of the Loom Gold Series. Really, really comfortable underwear.
14:07 remaining in regulation, 26-14. Here's the kickoff from Gardocki, and Jermaine Lewis drifts up and takes it at the 7-yard line. Out to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Ray McElroy, number 40, with the special teams tackle on Jermaine Lewis. 5th round draft pick this year, and a flag down. That will go against the Colts. Possibly on Derwin Gray.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 30 of the kicking team.
'Twas indeed Derwin Gray. So Baltimore moves north. We'll be right back.
Face it, no other razor shaves closer or with more comfort than Gillette Sensor XL. Soft microfins that protect your skin and individually spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face. No razor feels more comfortable during your shave or leaves your face smoother after. Gillette Sensor XL. And try new Gillette Shave Gel. Now, the best gel takes care of your skin, too.
We cheer for the Friday Night Heroes, the weekend warriors, and the small college stars who on their best days make heroes of us all. TNT and NFL Films bring you unforgettable stories of courage and triumph in a remarkable film that takes you to the heart of the game. Football America. World premiere Friday night at 8 on TNT.
Well, let's go back to that interception. Watch this guy right here. That is Tony Bennett. Here's the man that's going to, well, right in the middle linebacker is the man who's going to intercept it. And we can't get rid of our telestrator circle, but this interception was set up by Tony Bennett on the outside, number 56. He was draped all over Vinny Testaverde. Jeff Herrod is in the right place at the right time. Only his 5th interception of his career, 68 yards later. And the Russian judge gives him a 9.8.
Yeah, we'd have accepted him in figure skating even with that dive. First down. Whoops. Somebody took a shot at that one. It was a migrating raven. No duck.
Well, here's where Vinny Testaverde, down 26-14, really can't lose. This Colt team is a team that never gets discouraged, no matter what the situation. But he needs to get those wide receivers going again. Michael Jackson and Derek Alexander in particular has had a big evening.
Steve Everett, his center over the ball. Changes the play. Hot route is Michael Jackson. He is popped by Buchanan in the small of the back and hangs on. And Buchanan a little slow getting up. So also is Diedrich Mathis, number 26.
Oh.
And Mathis comes up limping.
We have seen a lot of football this year, Vern, but I don't think I have seen better team defense and better tackling by a team than I have of the Baltimore, the Indianapolis Colts.
Welcome to my world.
As we have tonight. These guys have tackled well.
3rd and 2. Whoops. Richard Dent got a quick first step.
He's also got 3 flags.
Now, obviously, he's going to claim that he was drawn offside.
Ball start.
Oh.
Number 70, offense.
And he was.
3rd down.
That's Herman Arvey. Yep. See, Arvey just leaned back in his stance. And that caused Dent to take that quick first step. So now 3rd down and 7. Baltimore 4 of 8 on 3rd downs tonight. Ball at the 45. Testaverde steps up and goes deep, and it's too high for Alexander. Good double coverage. Sammy Burroughs, the linebacker, had dropped off to help David Tate, number 49.
Ooh, and what a rush by Richard Dent.
Yes.
I mean, again, Richard Dent got off that corner awful fast, didn't get there, but Vinny Testaverde felt him. And that's the next best thing. Whew.
Marvin Harrison back to return the punt of Greg Montgomery. Beg pardon. Nice and high. Fair catch called by Harrison. He stumbles, lets it bounce, and it goes out of bounds. And it is so ruled to be out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Colts lead the Ravens by 12.
the folks at Methodist how they came up with a dumb name like Methodist Medical Plaza. And they said, what do you mean? Well, I said, these places are like doctor's offices, but they have more, right? They said, right. And I said, they have all that high-tech stuff that you'd expect to find in a big hospital, right? They said, right. So, in one convenient location, people can get all their lab work done, plus x-rays, mammograms, MRIs, even CAT scans. They can even have lots of surgical procedures done and go home the same day, right? And they said, right. So then you put these beautiful new facilities all around town, right? And they said, right. And all people have to do is choose a health plan that includes Methodist. So I asked them, where did you come up with a name like Methodist Medical Plaza, which means absolutely nothing? And they said, oh, we pretty much pulled it out of a hat. Methodist Medical Plazas. They're so good, it's almost magic.
12:37 remaining in regulation. The Colts up by 12, 26-14. Here's tonight's GMC leaderboard. The all-time list of those men who rushed for 1,000 or more in each of their first 3 years. Dickerson, Campbell, Sanders, Andrews, Dorsett, and Brockington, and Marshall Faulk trying to join them this year. Hasn't helped his cause much tonight. 24 yards on 12 carries. They hand it off to Marshall Faulk, and he runs into Mike Frederick, number 94, and James Jones, number 97.
The reason he is struggling, and we said only 24 yards, is there is just not a lot of room for Marshall Faulk to dance. I mean, they're getting him early in the runs, and they're protecting the backside. Only once has he been able to cut back. So they're getting into the front side of the play, but they're protecting the backside of the play defensively also.
As good a runner as he is, and he is a dandy, he has only 5 games of 100 yards or more, and the last came more than a year ago, October 1st of last season, when he rushed for 177. Now we've got
they don't
action at the line.
Vern, excuse me, they don't feed him the ball, as you said.
64 offense. Still second down.
As much as most teams feature their backs, like Dallas does with Smith. I mean, he was only touching the ball 14 times a game this year, and those numbers are going down. It was 18 last year. But again, Lindy Infante's offensive philosophy is to get everybody involved in the game. No stars. And he gets them to practice harder, and he gets everybody thinking they're going to get the ball on the next play call.
Second down at 16. They fake the dog. Harbaugh runs out of travel and gets into an unexpected problem with Tim Goad, number 73. That's his second sack tonight.
Yeah.
And the fourth sack on Harbaugh. Goad has 2 of them. And third down coming up. So a chance, if they can stymie the Colts on this offensive thrust, for good field position now for the Ravens.
Yeah, an important down. And again, this was good coverage. Really good coverage. And Tim Goad just keeps plodding along and keep fighting and scratching, and he picks up his second sack. But very important third down defensive play for the Ravens.
Out of the shotgun, Faulk gets the handoff. Mike Frederick wraps him up after a modest gain to the 7-yard line. And it's going to be Chris Gardocki on the punt.
And Vern, also what the Ravens need right now is a good special teams play. You know, maybe it's a block punt, but if not, they need a real return from Jermaine Lewis. Scott O'Brien, the special teams coach of the Ravens. But they have the special teams have a chance of really setting Vinny Testaverde up with good field position.
Scott O'Brien telling us last night that Jermaine Lewis has a lot of potential, but hasn't done it yet. Here's Gardocki. He's having a terrific year. Nice and high. Lewis, a chance to return it. Shakes one tackle, dances out of difficulty, and then is stopped as he gets to the 44. 51-yard punt, 4 on the return. A net of 47. Timeout.
Let's go, boys.
I've seen a place they call the Rockies. A
place covered in snow, as pure as the song of an angel. I've seen a place where the mountains rise up and call to you, run free and far. I've seen a place where the streams lie cradled in the hands of fertile valleys, and a man can kneel down and drink from the cool water and know the truth about himself. I've seen such a place.
Old man, tell us again about the place.
Keep working it, boys.
I've seen a place they call the Rockies.
Why float through life when you can drive?
Ted Marchibroda, 65 years of age, back in Baltimore for the second time, was the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. And look at the sidelines. Here's a sheet called the Indianapolis Colts No Huddle Offense, but who's reading that? Who is this masked man? It's Vinny Testaverde. Obviously. I don't think that's Lindy Infanti's no huddle offense.
That's a leftover from a year ago when he happened to be head coach of this Colt team and led them almost to the Super Bowl, 1 point away.
Play action for Testaverde. Chased by Johnson. Had a man open, Floyd Turner, but a little low. Catchable, I would think. Down at the 45-yard line.
Boy, Floyd Turner, one of those guys that last year contributed to the other team, the Colts team. And here is the no huddle. That's why he was looking at the sheet.
2nd and 10. Here comes the pressure from Bennett. Biner drops the ball. Incomplete pass.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Tony Bennett thought it was a possession and fumble and that he had recovered. But the official 5 yards away.
Boy, Tony Bennett has played well, but little screen pass out here to Ernest Biner. 1, 2. I think that's possession and a fumble.
You bet it is.
Both feet are down. Had possession. Should have been a fumble and a recovery by the Colts.
3rd and 10. Testaverde in trouble. Pulls up and fires it deep. He's got Alexander. Oh, can't quite hang on.
Almost a tremendous catch by Alexander. Is that a big night? 2 touchdown receptions already. But man, when your team's trailing by 12, you need a play like this in the 4th quarter. And Vinny Testaverde's grimace shows you what kind of effort he had to get it down there as he rolled to his left.
And instead, they'll have to punt it away. Greg Montgomery had one blocked last week. This one he gets away safely, and a fair catch is taken by Marvin Harrison at the 15-yard line. 9 minutes and 21 seconds left in regulation. 12-point Colt lead.
His father never returned from battle in the Vietnam War. Now Derek Thomas dedicates every game to his father before fighting his battle on the gridiron. Seahawks Chiefs, Thursday night at 7. The NFL's on TNT.
There aren't many things that can stop a 4x4. There are even fewer things that can stop a Stihl. No wonder it's the #1 selling brand of chainsaw worldwide. For a limited time, purchase a Stihl 017 chainsaw and get this handy carrying case and spare loop of chain, a $45 value, free, only at participating Stihl dealers.
Dan Footman fractured his right arm on the first play from scrimmage tonight, trying to tackle Jim Harbaugh. He is out for a while. And his Colt teammates trying to tighten things up against an Indianapolis team that now leads by 12 points, 26-14. Jim Harbaugh 9 of 13, 155, sacked 4 times, 3 in the first quarter, 1 in this half. Here's Marshall Faulk. And Faulk out to the 20-yard line on the first down carry. Tackle is made by Vashon Adams, number 43. Well, we talked, Pat, about the problems that this Raven defense had in the first third of the season.
Yeah, right on the numbers for the season. On the average 26. Tonight they've given up 26. Pass percentage, that's a staggering number. They give up 68% completions. Tonight it's 69%. Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator, telling us this week we have not made the plays in critical situations.
Second down and 5. Hand off to Faulk again as they work on the clock, and Faulk bursts through left guard. The hole opened by Troy Auzine and Doug Wydell. And a gain of 9 gives Baltimore, or rather Indianapolis, first down.
Tell you, think about Marshall Faulk. It does not take him long to get to full speed. Big block. Kip Vickers just hammered his guy. But once he gets going, it does not take him long to get that acceleration. Not like Barry Sanders and some of those guys. Boy, he is very, very explosive.
First and 10. Clock at the 8-minute mark now. Faulk again. And they'll keep it on the ground, I'm sure, as long as they can keep moving the chain. As you look at the Slate's scoreboard.
Another very efficient night for Lindy Infante's team. Defensively, they played very well, I think. And offensively, Harbaugh, you start with Harbaugh. He's only thrown 13 passes, but he's thrown 1 touchdown of those 13, and he has no interceptions. I mean, again, he has been very careful where he's put the ball. Yes, he's been sacked 4 times, but he knows that this primarily is a defensive team, and he's not going to turn the ball over.
Vince Workman replaces Faulk, and here is Jim Harbaugh. They hand it off to Gross. And not much of a gain. Third down. Ray Lewis with yet another tackle. Cliff Gross marshaled into action tonight when Zach Crockett sprained a knee in the opening warmups. And Gross for the evening, 9 carries for 50 yards, and Faulk is going to get some medical attention on the sideline. Faulk with 43 yards. 3rd and 10.
Well, you know, he's grabbing his toe. He dislocated a toe September 8th against the Jets. Missed 2 games.
Harbaugh accounting for the defensive alignment of the Ravens. 4 wide receivers. Blitz coming. Harbaugh deep left side, and that's going to be overthrown and incomplete. Sean Dawkins looking back at Harbaugh saying, wait a minute.
Well, Vinny Testaverde is going to get another chance. 6:22 remaining in this game, down by 12. He'll have maybe 2 possessions to get his Ravens a chance to win, in a position to win this football game. So 2, potentially 3 more series for Vinny Testaverde.
Jermaine Lewis, number 84, waits for it with 6:22 to go in the game. Ken Dilger snaps it back. This is not a particularly effective punt, and it takes a Baltimore roll back to the 43-yard line where Jason Belser runs into it. Well, quick turnaround for our crew this week. On Thursday night, we're going to be in Kansas City for a special Thursday night presentation of the NFL on TNT. John Freese and Chris Warren lead the Seahawks into an AFC West matchup against Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. A special Thursday night edition of the NFL on TNT. Seattle with a bye week this week and a big win in Miami their last time out.
And you're John Freese threw 3 touchdown passes of over 50 yards each in that game.
6:13 to go in this one. Testaverde goes right, has a man, and Derek Alexander breaks out of a tackle and gets to the 32. I would think they're going to want to hurry this thing up as much as they can.
Absolutely. 6 minutes left in the ball game, down by 12, and if they score here again, they're going to have to play good defense and maybe get 1 more possession. They do have 3 timeouts remaining.
First and 10 on a 24-yard gain. Biner Nice move in the middle, and he's down to the 21-yard line. That's an 11-yard gain.
Well, that was a nice bob and weave there by Ernest Biner. It looked like he was going to get smacked early in the run, but made a guy miss in a very small area.
Biner was 77 yards on 18 carries. Testaverde looks left all the way. Pulls up. Oh, my goodness, how about that? The last thing in the world you'd expect from swivel-hipped Vinny Testaverde.
He looked a little bit like Tom Matte on that one. And Quentin Coriat down. Another injury to one of Colt linebackers. Vinny Testaverde in his 10th year used to be a terrific scrambler and a strong runner. Some big runs at the University of Miami, and early in his career has lost some speed, but not some strength. Not the strength. And a very, very timely run by Testaverde.
That's a gain of 16 yards for Testaverde as they tend to the Colt linebacker, Coriat. He missed last week's game with an injury. Well, the hospital ward's filling up again.
Yeah, and their backups have played exceptionally well at critical times. Sammy Burroughs, one of those backup outside linebackers. Steve Morrison played exceptionally well last week. And that guy's played well tonight. Tony Bennett.
First and goal, just outside the 5. A 12-point margin, just under 5 minutes remaining in regulation.
And Ray Buchanan and Michael Jackson continue to battle one another.
Hand off to Biner. Squeezes over right tackle. That's a spot occupied by Orlando Brown.
They need to score quickly here. Again, spending a lot of time. Another injured Colt. Boy, you know, Vern, they've had 16 different starters on defense this year.
This is McCoy down for the second time tonight. Left the game in the first half, was questionable for his return, we were told, and shortly thereafter was back on the field. Here's Ellis Johnson, number 62. First time was his left knee. And let's see what happened here, Pat.
Tony McCoy, number 61, left part of the screen. Oh, man, ouch, 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 ouch. Oh, Lordy. Oh, makes you want to play tennis.
Boy, painful to watch. You can imagine what kind of pain he's enduring. There's Siragusa. Battling all night with that 6'8" man-child, Jonathan Ogden, who's 22. And Tony McCoy, his teammate, down.
Well, I tell you, Tony Siragusa and Tony McCoy play particularly well lined up next to one another. Siragusa is the stout guy who just kind of takes over the whole middle. Tony McCoy is a guy who can take some chances and run around some blocks and jump in some gaps because of the stoutness of Siragusa. But boy, they play well together.
You know, they're taking their time with McCoy as he's down on his back at the 4.5-yard line. Now in a sitting position. An interesting, Pat, while they tend to Tony McCoy, the Baltimore Ravens have 2 of the 12 rookies who have started every game in the National Football League this season. One of whom has gone against Tony Siragusa. Jonathan Ogden, Ray Lewis. They both played superbly tonight. You've compiled a list called the Hayden Hopefuls. How these guys do
a little Broadway music. Here's my man Eddie George. 466 yards rushing, had over 100 yards rushing. Enjoying the show tunes here as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar helped his Miami team win together. Today, Kevin Hardy leads his team in sacks. I love this music. Marvin Harrison, who would enjoying tonight as a punt returner and a wide receiver. And we did mention Zach Thomas and some guys like, look what Eddie George did today. 109 yards, Jabbar had a rough afternoon. Zach Thomas wasn't in the video clip there, but 11 tackles and a sack and an interception. Did Zach Thomas have? Marvin Harrison, a productive year thus far. So it's been a big year for rookies.
Tony McCoy is going to be helped onto the cart and taken to the locker room. Right knee.
Yeah, the cart is getting a workout tonight, isn't it?
Yes.
Got about 10,000 miles on it. I see a cart in this place. You think of Steve Entman. Went off it a few times.
Right. And the pain persists for Tony McCoy. Number 61 hit from behind, and he'll be taken into the locker room. Tony McCoy. Colt fans stand and applaud. There are Raven fans here as well from Baltimore. A group of, I guess they took about 5 or 6 buses that made what is a 9-hour bus trip from Baltimore to Indianapolis. They stay overnight, head back tomorrow. Fans of the old Baltimore Colts and now the Baltimore Ravens. And they all cheer Tony McCoy as he leaves. And now 2nd down and goal as we get back to play. From the 3. 4:17 to go in regulation play. Testaverde in the end zone, caught, touchdown. Calvin Williams, number 89, picked up as a free agent from the Philadelphia Eagles, and he gets the touchdown grab. That is his first for the Baltimore Ravens.
And his 2nd catch on the evening. Last week he figured pretty big in their game. 7 catches a week ago. And I tell you, Vinny Testaverde did a good job of hanging in there under some duress. An all-out blitz by the Colt defense, and Testaverde did his job. He scored, and he scored quickly. And now his defense has to give him another chance.
Matt Stover for the extra point. This would draw Baltimore within 5. Up and good. A quick strike by the Baltimore Ravens. It took only 2:04. They went 56 yards in 5 plays.
Yeah, but look, there's a strong safety. David Tate blitzing. Linebacker Morrison blitzing. He feels it. He backs up. Still has the strength in his arm to, get the ball there and throw it away from the defender, Mathis. That was a heck of a play. Good read. Started with his head, ended with a good throw, and a nice adjustment by Calvin Williams. So he has put his team in position to potentially win, now up to his defense.
Ernest Biner, Vinny Testaverde, and Calvin Williams.
Ted Marchibroda was saying to us last night that Vinny Testaverde really has played very well for him this year, and in particular the last couple weeks. And, he has played well. Testaverde had the 1 interception for a touchdown, but that's because he had Tony Bennett draped all over him. And Testaverde said that in spite of what Ted Marchibroda has been saying, he really wants to win this ball game.
That's Don Strzok, who is the quarterback coach, the 9th of the last 10 years for Vinny Testaverde.
All the promise that Vinny Testaverde had coming out in '87, and as I said, this is the most consistent we've seen him play the last couple of years.
This one bounces at the 15, taken by Bailey inside the 10. Tries to circle to his right and find room, and is chased out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Chased there by Deron Jenkins, number 25. Coming up after the game on the Steel postgame show, Ernie Johnson is here in Indianapolis, and he'll be joined with players live on the set down on the field. Back in Atlanta, Vince Cellini, Mark May, and Randall Cunningham. We'll look at other action around the NFL today, and Norman Chad will be along for Chad's Chatter. That's on the Steel postgame show.
And for Lindy Infante, what he wants right now is 2 or 3 first downs. And that means the offensive line right now has to play exceptionally well to get those first downs.
Baltimore and Indianapolis have all 3 timeouts left. Here's Cliff Gross. And nothing doing on the first down play as Stevan Moore, number 27, makes the tackle.
Stevan Moore is ordinarily a strong safety, but everybody knows the Colts are going to run it. Top right of the screen, number 27, plays it like a linebacker. Everybody's blocked. He's not really accounted for because he's the strong safety. Steps in the hole, puts the stop on.
3:25 to go. 2nd and 9. Draw play. Gross, his 11th carry tonight. That's one more than he had all season coming in, and the crowd booing.
Well, this has been a funny crowd to figure out. This is an easy team to like, I think, the Colts, in that they can be an exciting and interesting team, and a team that plays very well together. But Lindy Infante, who serves as offensive coordinator, head coach, and quarterback coach, this is an important call for his team right now.
Team is 7 of 13 on 3rd downs. They are looking at a 3rd and 6 from their own 35, and the clock running with 2:34 remaining. Shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 3 load up on the right. No blitz. Harbaugh chased. Pulls up and fires deep, and has Harrison, who can't make a one-handed grab. And the Colts will have to give it back to the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, Testaverde did his job. The Raven defense do theirs, and Testaverde's going to have a chance. To win the ball game. Now, another changeup by Harbaugh on the scramble. The 9th scramble of the evening. This one's outside. Gets his shoulders turned as he rolls to the left. And that's a ball that maybe should have been caught by Marvin Harrison. Just put the one hand out.
Gardocki back to punt at the 20-yard line. Jermaine Lewis waits at the opposite 20. Return is on all the way. Oh, dandy punt. Gardocki chases Lewis inside the 10. And Lewis gets it back to the 20-yard line. So, simple. 80 yards, 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining, all 3 timeouts left. And the Baltimore Ravens chasing the Indianapolis Colts. They trail by 5.
Well, we've seen the stats before. To take your team 80 yards for a touchdown, 80 yards or more. The NFL, only what? I think it's 11% of the plays go into touchdowns. Yeah, you see that? Baltimore has actually been very good on long drives. 22% of their drives that had to go 80 yards ended up in touchdowns.
And they need a touchdown, trailing by 5. 1st and 10. Testaverde dances right, pulls up, finds Ernest Biner. Biner in the middle of the field. They'll stop the clock at the 2-minute warning now as he gets out to the 39-yard line.
Oh, clever play by Vinny Testaverde. He knows who's the better runner, and it is not he. It is Ernest Biner. He dances around like Fred Astaire, breaks a couple of tackles, makes a dead miss, and then dumps it off to the better runner, Ernest Biner. That's a 1st down.
Excuse me, where's the phone?
You know those pants that always fit?
Thank you all. Thank you for coming. Your support is crucial. Absolutely crucial. Where's the phone?
Congratulations. There you are. Come on. Belong to him. No.
These are those pants. These are Slate's.
Today I set out to fix my car.
Thanks, neighbor.
Whatever. I had to stop at 4 different places.
Push. Push.
Good thing I live in a friendly town.
Push.
One of us pushes, the other one pops the clutch.
Come on, push. I am pushing.
Finally, I went to Pep Boys.
Hey, everybody, I fixed it.
I love this town.
Car or truck, Pep Boys has your starter or alternator. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price, tires and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
My mama, she makes the best chicken cacciatore this side of Italy. The best. But sometimes I get heartburn from my mama's cacciatore. So before I come over, I take a Pepsid AC. Forgive me, Mama.
My son loves my chicken cacciatore. But me, after one helping, the indigestions. I have to take a Pepsid AC.
Before a meal or after, Pepsid AC lets you eat the food you love.
Guarda che faccia sto figlio mio.
You can be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
1:58 to go. Vinny Testaverde with 3 touchdown passes tonight.
You know, and this is what you have to have if you're going to beat a Colt defense. There's the first one to Alexander. One more time to Alexander. And then the third one came just a few moments ago to Calvin Williams. He's got his team in a position to win.
This one is over the middle, and it's dropped by Barner. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And Pat, the 2 plays he'd like to have back tonight, though, he had Michael Jackson wide open for a touchdown, underthrew him, and under pressure from Tony Bennett, he was picked off by Jeff Herrod, and it was returned 68 yards.
Yeah, but all you can do in this situation, though, when you're a quarterback, is hope you have a chance, one last chance to bring your team from behind to win. He has that chance. All 3 timeouts remaining.
2nd down and 10. Settles short. Michael Jackson. A flag is thrown.
I think Michael Jackson may have gone out of bounds. He might have stepped out of bounds. And then when he throws the hat, I think when the side judge throws the hat, it means the wide receiver's out of bounds.
Illegal touching of a pass. Number 81, offense. The receiver went out of bounds and came back in and caught it. The pass is incomplete. 3rd down.
Yeah, Ray Buchanan, again, has just done a terrific job. Yep, there it is. Right foot. Kind of a tender call there, wasn't it?
That was a smidgen. This little piggy went to market. 3rd and 10. Here comes Tony Bennett. There goes Testaverde. Oh, Alexander can't hang on. Oh, man. He won't sleep tonight thinking about that one. Hit him right in the chest.
Boy. In spite of the night, the incredible night that Derek Alexander has had, 2 touchdown receptions, this could kill the Raven team. A perfectly thrown ball hit his face mask first, and then part of his shoulder pad. Oh, man.
Using his head in a way he never imagined, and time has been called by the Baltimore Ravens as you look at it again.
You know, in his 3rd year, Derek Alexander's had, a big night tonight, been a receiver his whole life, and a guy that's caught a zillion balls, but that was one you have to make when your team is down by 5 and you have a chance to win the ball game. And they're going to call a timeout and go for it, I'm sure, on 4th down. And Alexander has to get his head together because he might be thrown to again. And Testaverde must remind his players to make sure they go at least 11 yards and remind them that it is 4th down.
Second time they've gone for a 4th down conversion tonight. They were successful the first time, but it was 4th and inches. Blitz. Here comes the rush. Burrows gets it in the hands of Biner. Biner will not get the first down.
But once again, one of those backup Colts make a critical play on an important play. Poriot, remember, he went out. Burrows comes in. He's draped all over Testaverde. Bennett's there. Johnson's there. And Steve Martin, number 90. Once again, great team defense. And Derek Alexander, although he's caught the 2 touchdowns, I think will have a very difficult trip on the way back to Baltimore tonight.
1:31 remaining. The Ravens have 2 timeouts left. And the Colts have a first down on the change of possession at the 46-yard line. Draw play, Marshall Faulk. Stopped at the 43-yard line. And time is called. Well, yet again tonight, Indianapolis, in quest of its 5th victory of this season, involved in a very close game. This is the pattern that began in week 1 when they took on the Arizona Cardinals. Last play of the game, 3 shots in the end zone for Boomer Esiason, and Eugene Daniel knocked him down. They went to Dallas, and this is Boniol's attempt from 57. Hit the crossbar, fell short, and then last week it finally caught up with him as Steve Christie celebrated Canadian New Year's or Canadian Day and got the field goal in overtime to hand Indianapolis its first loss of the year, 16-13 in OT. 26-21, second down at the 43.
Well, the Ravens played well enough on offense to win it, except for that last play by Derek Alexander. They still have some defensive problems and deficiencies.
It would appear the Ravens will go to 2-4. Here's Falk, hit from behind by Mike Frederick and knocked down, and Marcia Broda will use his final timeout.
And once again, an efficient game from the Indianapolis Colts. Only 5 penalties. You know, Harbaugh didn't throw the interception, spread the ball around. You know, Falk only had 44 yards rushing on 19 carries, yet they're not dependent upon one player in this offense.
Jim Harbaugh comes over to chat for the moment with Lindy Infante at the near side. Harbaugh 7 of 9 in the first half, 2 of 6 in the second, but an efficient game. Wearing your favorite number, of course, number 4.
Well, he wears it in honor of Bobby Orr.
Right.
It just, you've heard me say it, it's not symmetrical.
It's a terrific number. It's a terrific number.
God.
Bobby Orr, as a matter of fact, Jim Harbaugh said he's never met Bobby Orr. He does have an autographed Boston Bruin jersey that he got from Bobby Orr, even though they never met. Quarterback draw, Harbaugh down at the 42, and it'll be 4th down. The clock continues to run. So on 4th down, one more chance. And Jim said, we were chatting with him yesterday about your nightmare matchup in the Super Bowl, which would be Green Bay against Indianapolis with 2 guys wearing number 4. And Harbaugh, who's really a terrific young man to be around, said, isn't Favre great? He's my favorite quarterback in the league. I mean, this guy finds a bright light in the darkest night. He's terrific.
He really is a guy that seems to, you know, enjoy the moment, enjoying the success that he has had this year and last year. And he says, hey, I'm having fun. I'm doing something I love. And so many guys in this league, it's such a grind for him. And there is a lot of pressure on him. But he's saying, hey, I could be doing a lot of things worse than this. And he insists on enjoying the moments.
They call timeout. Remember his conversation about the final play of the game at Pittsburgh. A wonderful run for the Colts last year. They won at San Diego. They won at Kansas City. They're down 20-16. Last play from the 29-yard line. Aaron Daniel in the end zone. They had a chance to win it and go to the Super Bowl. And as you watch this play one more time, Aaron Bailey in the end zone, Jim Harbaugh chatting with us yesterday said, I love talking about it because it's the kind of thing that every kid dreams of when he's 8 years old in the backyard. Marcia Broda looking on, and here was that last play against Pittsburgh, ever so close. And Jim Harbaugh said, I love this. I'm wearing an NFL uniform on an NFL field and doing what I care about most, and it's just terrific. Gardocki. Lewis at the 12. Well, Jimmy Harbaugh's team up by 5.
Well,
and Vinny Testaverde's team only 87 yards away.
Yeah, and again, with a guy like Vinny Testaverde and the arm strength that he has, it is not beyond this team and Testaverde to get this ball downfield, but you've got to get the ball to a wide receiver who is on the move. It's the only chance they're going to have to catch it and then break a tackle and go the distance. It happens every year in the NFL.
Jackson near side against Ray Buchanan again. Testaverde. Oh, he's strong. But he's going to get nailed. Ray Lewis again. Nope. Steve Morrison, beg pardon. Flags down.
And Testaverde took a pretty good shot on that little scramble. He was trying to pitch the ball desperately to earn his binder.
96, defense. Still first down.
That's Richard Dent, who's had a Only played a few plays tonight, but has had an impact.
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Well, one last heave. I would essential prevent defense there, Vern.
Those guys are in Cleveland. Final play of the game. Jermaine Lewis, chased by McElroy. This one is over. And it was a good one in their first meeting ever. The Indianapolis Colts defeat the Baltimore Ravens. Sometimes this is a terrific sport. Ted Marchibroda, twice a coach in Baltimore, once a coach in Indianapolis. Colts win it by 5.
Pure performance. Zostrix Sports. New from Zostrix. The topical pain reliever doctors prescribe most. The purest capsaicin you can get. Zostrix Sports. Relieves joint pains, muscle aches. Don't play hurt. Zostrix Sports outperforms pain.
Dave, darling, I saw your grilled chicken sandwich commercial the other day and you looked fabulous. Anyway, I had to try one. Honey, it was delicious. The whole breast filet is bigger, plumper, and juicier than ever. And they made it fresh right when I ordered it. Dave, just between us, it was so good I had to. Don't tell. Love and kisses, Iman.
You know Iman?
When you got it, you got it.
Try Wendy's new plumper, juicier grilled chicken sandwich.
Hey, Jimmy, how's the leg?
Leg's just fine.
Doesn't look too good.
No pain at all.
Well, you banged it up the other day?
No problem. Doctor gave me Tylenol. Extra strength.
Tylenol? Is that kind of pain?
Just watch me, son.
For the pain of traumatic injuries, Tylenol is recommended the most by doctors.
Hey, Brad. How's my leg?
Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
The NFL on TNT has been brought to you by BMW and the BMW 5 Series. Now more than ever, the ultimate driving machine. By Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day. By Slate's Dress Pants. For stores, call 1-800-SLATES-1. By Pep Boys, 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price. Everything but gas. And by Pepsid AC Acid Controller. You can be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
Well, our streak continues. We've had competitive games every Sunday night, and tonight no different from the others. Indianapolis wins at 26-21 over the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL on TNT continues on a special night this Thursday with the Coors Light Pro Football Tonight show at 7 o'clock Eastern. Then at 8 o'clock, the Seattle Seahawks take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. The Steel postgame show caps off the night. Stay tuned next for tonight's Steel postgame show. Ernie Johnson to be joined here by Jim Harbaugh and Tony Saragusa. Vince Cellini, Mark May, Randall Cunningham, and Norm Chad along from the studio in Atlanta. For Pat Hayden, I'm Vern Lundquist. Good night from Indianapolis.